Greetings and welcome back to the Just Two Nerds podcast. As always, I'm Phoenix.
I'm Dan.
And we are bringing you our episode number 9. Lovely. I know, again, we're inconsistent with being consistent.
Stop asking.
It's Dan's fault. I swear it's Dan's fault. It's not
Don't you dare blame me. This is a unilateral fuck up on both our ends.
I am always here. I will blame myself when I can no longer be home as often as I am.
I am trying my best, and you all will leave me alone for it, I swear.
And as you can see, Dan's missing today in terms of visuals. He
working on it.
Working on it. He has to get a new camera, so we will not see his glorious face for an episode or two. Well, depends if we're consistent enough.
I know you'll miss me.
Might be 1, might be 2, might be 3. Depends on how fast we get through this stuff and how consistent we are.
As the one thing you can quote us on is that we're consistently inconsistent, and having any form of consistency is better than zero. So I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. We hear enough from everyone else that says, you know, you should upload more. We should, but you know what?
I hear that shit all the time, and you know what? Does it echo any louder when I hear it multiple times? Not at all.
We do what we do. We would like to thank you all for stopping by and nerding out with us. And for today's topics, we have the 70th anniversary reveal teaser stuff around Godzilla. I was super excited to see that because I like Godzilla. Then we're going to do books to adaptations. So any kind of books. We're talking Stephen King, How to Train Your Dragons, Aragon, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, potatoes all the way through.
If funny enough, if it's been adapted, thing does not consist of just comic books and nerd tropes, which again, every book in this list is something nerdy, from the fantasy of dragons to the entirety of whatever Ready Player One was, and anywhere in that wheelhouse in between.
Oh yes, we've got plenty of book to film adaptations or animations, whichever one. So we have plenty to discuss, not just in this episode, but in further episodes as well. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the 9 Star Wars films, because the episode 3 got its 20th anniversary re-release to theaters, and it performed spectacularly. So I'm like, let's discuss the 9 Star Wars films. And
almost to a point where I think every bit of game media that I've known so far is exploding with Star Wars, whether it's Fortnite, whether it's Destiny 2, whether it's Battlefront 2 hitting its all-time player high that it hasn't hit since launch, which is massive because EA completely fucked that game to hell and back. And yet, on May the 4th, it somehow magically returned all of its player base on Steam. And that's just the Steam numbers. We don't have console numbers.
And I wonder why. And our final topic, we're going to be discussing the new Ironheart trailer and the huge controversy, not just around the amount of insane
sons of bitches,
racist incels that have come out about this film. And I want to throw it in there just because of a little tidbit I saw last night. A possible casting for the character of Storm.
Yeah.
Aurora Monroe, beautiful queen that she is. And I know if you've watched, like, what was it, last episode or 2 episodes ago, where we pretty much simped out over her. So yeah, y'all should know, we like Storm, we love Storm. And unfortunately, to me, there's still only one actress that can play her, but
we'll get into that.
So with all that out of the way, let's get into it. Dan, did you see the 70th reveal for Godzilla?
I have. With Gamma.
Green? Oh my god.
Again, I consider fucking Godzilla a version of like a Saiyan, because all they change the colors on his back and it's like, holy shit, he's that much stronger. And it's like, that's just like anything in Dragon Ball. They change colors and they get stronger. He's had blue, he's had pink, and now he has green.
I'm waiting for yellow. If he gets a point,
I'm waiting for yellow.
If either MonsterVerse or Toho version Godzilla gets a yellow, like the yellow glow to his spines, we'll have Super Saiyan. Like, we'll just have all the Dragon Ball. Which is funny because I think for the newest Godzilla over here in the MonsterVerse, him getting pink was I think the director said, yeah, because I liked the Goku Black transformation from Dragon Ball, so I wanted to do something similar to it,
which is hilarious.
because I don't know how the fuck even it makes sense for him to have pink radiation glow, but fuck it, did it look cool?
Fuck, did it look awesome?
And the green looks so good. It looks like -1 Godzilla, which is even crazier to think because -1 was such a good film. That is such a good Godzilla film, and he didn't have any real crazy glow going on. He did, I mean, it was a little bit of glow, but like he wasn't crazy. Whereas that teaser makes him look like a freaking bright ass green star in the night. Like he is bright,
so good.
So if -2 or
I watched it again before we started recording.
The teaser trailer, oh no, it's so, and it does look like the Toho one for -1. So if that's his new look for -2 or minus whatever 0, I don't fucking know. Whatever
negative Godzilla or the hell's going on.
So gonna be in the fucking theaters for that one. And if you haven't watched -1, go watch it, and watch it in Japanese. Stop being little wussies.
Look, I know you can't read subtitles and watch at the same time. I'm not asking you to read. I'm asking you to watch.
Yeah.
All right. You don't need to know everything the person is saying to get a cool visual on what's happening on the screen.
I watched this movie in theaters while eating hot wings, cheese sticks, and popcorn. And I still was able to keep up with what was going on. Like, yeah, exactly. you don't need to catch every little word. And I'm gonna call my friend out on this. Hey, AJ. I know you can't process how good of a movie it is, but trust me, it's a good movie. You little punk ass.
Like,
the audacity to tell me.
As a monster fan myself, you know, I've watched the very, very, very old Godzilla where it's completely just not well animated. It's a guy in a suit. The suit looks goofy. And the camera angles are they're bad. It's one of the few movies that, because of the time that it came out, it's so bad that it's good.
I still will say any of those Godzilla films are better than some of the worst movies I've ever seen.
110%. Because I'm not going to sit here and fault the people for not having the technology we have today. It's like, no, that's not their fault that movies nowadays have so much money pumped into them that they look as well as they do. And again, just because you have a lot of money poured into your project doesn't mean it's going to be good. All right. Like, you could dump billions of dollars into it, but if there's no story, there's no plot, guess what? It's a shit movie.
I mean, honestly, if you like just thinking about it, what the team did for -1, what they had, what was it, 50 million, something like that? A lot, but not like a lot.
Yeah.
And they did it looks so seamless in that movie. I was like, what the fuck? This team went all in. Like, the actors must have got like almost nothing because they're like, we're putting the whole budget into Godzilla. And it looks incredible. But even if you say it's still not the best looking Godzilla, the story is fantastic, because for as beautiful as something like Avatar is, the story is really fucking basic.
Now, and again, I know it's like, oh, we're not trying to make this like Avatar The Last Airbender, but with every issue that comes out of the new Avatar stuff, it's each one of them having a different element. It's just like, tell me you ripped off Avatar The Last Airbender without ripping off Avatar The Last Airbender.
Oh,
it's like, because guess what? They're water, and then what's the next one? It's supposed to be Way of the Fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or some, yeah, yep. It's just like, if you do Way of the Earth next, I'm calling for copyright.
But technically, he hasn't even done Way of the Air. So, depending, I guess, how you want to look at the first Avatar, is that, would you say that's like, we totally lost track with Godzilla, but yeah. Would you say the first Avatar is air or earth?
That has to be air.
I can see that. I can see that. So yeah, no. I mean, we've been saying it. So yeah, when James Cameron decides to go, hey, my fourth Avatar film will be the fucking people of Earth, we're like, son of a bitch, straight up copying it. But not losing too much on Godzilla.
You copied actual Avatar.
Oh, and there's more actual Avatar coming out too. But did you see they've released the the Godzilla Supernova? for the
Yes.
MonsterVerse.
Kong Supernova.
Kong
That
Super-
sounds awful. That sounds amazing yet awful at the same time.
Someone's gonna take that and run with it. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay, with it being Supernova being a space, what do you think we're gonna get with Supernova? Are we gonna get Space Godzilla? Are we gonna get Gigan? Are we gonna get maybe Biollante?
It's possible that we get Space Godzilla because I don't know why, and with every movie trend that's ever existed ever for the history of the world, at some point they end up going to space. Like when it doesn't matter where, at some point in almost every movie franchise, eventually, if it's been around long enough, they go to space. I'm looking at you, Fast and Furious. I'm looking right at you when I say that.
Cannot believe that fucking happened.
They eventually go to space, and it never fails. It's never failed one time at all. Like even the Avengers eventually, which I mean, the Avengers was the one that was the most likely to go to space, and it make a lot more sense because multiverse and everything, that space aliens coming to Earth. That one made more sense for them to go to space when they did. I'm not saying that every fucking adaptation known to man needs to touch the grasp of space at some point. I'm just saying it's like a checklist when you're making a set of movies. Like you go down the list, like, have we gone underwater? Have we gone in center Earth? Have we gone outer space? Have we gone different planet? Like eventually when you're checking down the boxes, eventually one of those boxes says outer space, and you look at it and you're like, do we check it now? Do we check it later? And eventually you end up in space.
Oh no, I agree. All of them somehow do it at some point.
It's weird. Like, don't get me wrong, when it works, but I'm still going to sit here and say it's kind of weird that the next step for almost anything is, have we gone to space? Hell, look at Jason. Jason went to space.
I forgot about that.
Like, out of all things to go to space, Jason went in space. Okay, all right.
I'm sure. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised they haven't done a Freddy in space that I remember. Didn't the Leprechaun go to space?
Yes, the Leprechaun did go to space.
Son of a bitch. Well, since we're going in that route, we have to get Space Godzilla then.
Right? Like, you would think at some point, or I wouldn't say comics, but movies in general would figure out that everyone has gone to space and they've done this outer space trend, and eventually some markets will hit that point where it's like, that's it, outer space, that's the next big thing, and you're just like, holy shit, we're doing this, aren't we?
Well, I mean, space is the final frontier.
Oh, Jesus. Again, you're not wrong. I'm just sitting here just like, I don't know why we have... Like, I get it. There's not enough interesting shit on our planet, and you can only write so much about the planet Earth before you run out of locations to write on.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Like, again, I'm going to go back to Jason. Jason went to fucking Manhattan. Why is Jason in downtown New York? I don't know, but where else would Jason would have gone? That would make a lot of sense.
Why is the Leprechaun
really a lot
in
of
the
places
hood?
You can bring Jason, and it makes a lot of, like Jason in Tokyo. That wouldn't make any fucking sense. How did he get to Tokyo? Who moved his body there? It's not a lot of explanations.
I mean,
in space,
we have Leprechaun in the hood.
You can do anything in space.
We're gonna. So it's clear that we are psychic, and we're gonna get Space Godzilla. If not Space Godzilla, probably Gigan, which is still pretty spacey. I'm pretty sure at the end of Godzilla X Kong, whatever the fuck this last one was called. Pretty sure there was a hint at Jet Jaguar. I kind of hoping to see that, to be honest. I want to see how that plays out.
Frozen.
And then we may get Biollante at some point. We got a couple of creatures left in the monster universe of Godzilla, and if we want the scary Godzilla, we got the Toho version. I hope Toho doesn't go too crazy. I like the idea of just like this monster Godzilla that's just, I am pissed off, I'm wrecking shit, you guys fucked up. Like, I like the two different types of Godzillas that we've got. Though I do
Yeah.
kind of hope Toho does bring in some of their Godzilla monsters into the -1. Like, I do kind of hope that happens a little bit, not a lot. Just like a few of them. Maybe Gamma, maybe the one that looks like a fucking minotaur.
Oh Jesus! You're asking me to remember something off the top
Yeah, I
of
know,
my
I'm
head.
drawing a blank on that. The ones that would make sense that radiation would have affected this animal and turned it into something, because that's clearly
Yeah.
what -1 is. So that's what I'm wanting from the Toho stuff. And again, shit just looks too damn cool. 70 years of Godzilla. I gotta find me a better Godzilla. I have a Godzilla shirt with the classic one on it. I need a modern one with the green Godzilla on that shit. Oh, that's too fucking cool. Since we were talking about space, I want to bring it up briefly before we move on to our next topic, because we didn't want to spend too much on the time of Godzilla stuff. But you've seen the goddamn, you've seen the trailer for the new Predator stuff, right?
Yes.
What is your thoughts on that, including the animation? Do you see they're doing an animation for it too?
Yes, I did. I did. And
Two different Predator stuff.
I gotta say, like, with the live action one, that one makes sense. Okay. And I know it seems like it's out of the wheelhouse, but when you think about it, all the Predators do to keep being the Predator is evolve. So the only next step in that evolution would be a half human one, because they didn't know we existed for a purpose of time. Only, I mean, unless you consider the Alien versus Predator thing where they had the Mayans and they used the sacrifice, but I'm not going into all that. Like, disregard that, exclude that part. For the most part, they didn't use our planets for hunts. It wasn't until they found out about us and it was like, okay, we got to go there because we might be able to use that. And when they realized the humans can kill them with their human ingenuity, don't understand how human ingenuity can help you kill a fucking predator. But but eventually the next step in their evolution would be commingling of the genetics. Like, that's would only be next. So it makes sense from that standpoint. And then on the animation thing, frankly, I just think we need more public domain of animated Predator stuff. Like, it just needs more. So the fact that we're getting any is better than us getting nothing.
Oh yes, I agree with the animation one. Get big animation guys. We love our 2D animation, but knowing the so many, I feel like part of the movie they're always afraid to do different settings because they don't see how they could do it, or whatever the reasoning is. They're holding out on us on certain time frames and certain settings for live action Predator. But you ain't got that worry with animation. Go all in, and you can do the Predator, have the Predator do some insane shit that you couldn't do in live action. Run with this, guys. And if any of you bastards ruin that fucking animation by trying to review bomb it, I'm gonna start lighting shit on fire. This is the best way we can continuously get Predator shit in between live action movies.
There will be hell to pay.
Like, god damn it, this is such an easy way to get good Predator consistency. Hell, even if the Predator live actions want to tell their own Predator timeline, use the animations to tell like the Predator comics.
Yeah.
Like, use the animation aspect to tell all the comic book aspect, and then use your live actions for your own Predator universe. That it's like these movies are connected, but these movies aren't connected. Type of I don't even know which live action movies are connected in that fucking universe.
I completely kind of spaced on it.
I know the AVP ones aren't at all, because they're like
no.
And then I'm like, okay, so what about the Predators after AVP? Because I don't fucking know. All I know, I guess the first two Predators are the only true canon ones. I don't fucking know. This new one, I think, is supposed to it connects to the two old ones, and then it kind of seems like it might be setting up a new AVP path. Because it seems like we're hinting at.
I mean, it's possible, because I mean, especially with the last success of the last Alien movie,
Oh, I know
They
that.
could easily just go into a segue. It's just like, okay, the Predators are also in this universe as well, and then they can do it in animation. They
Mm-hmm.
could do an entire background on why the aliens and the Predators are the way that they are in their ecosystem, and then how the humans also play a role in that ecosystem. Because for my, at least from my understanding on like how to tell the story, they could easily go on the route of the first like season of that animation, just being nothing about like, don't even include the humans yet. Just tell only strictly aliens, or not alien, predator side of the story. Like understand why they do the things that they do, how they create or how they procreate, all the other aspects on how predators get their rights, their abilities, their weapons, you know, show their show the predator trials.
Yeah.
Show the things that they go through, because I guarantee you, if you try to do that in live action, that's going to cost you billions and billions of dollars to show how they do what they do to get to the position that they're in. But in animation, where you can do everything you want for a much cheaper price, they could
Mm-hmm.
show the trials. They could show how predators get their locks or whatever the hell. Like you can show them getting their merits and how they become what they become.
Hey, movie companies, we're printing you ideas. Like,
If you just listen, if
just
only you'd
just
listen.
fucking listen. Let this animation come out. Have your anthology series, then start a Predator animation where you tell the story of the Predators. Shit, it's right fucking there. The comics are right there. Shit.
It's not like everyone is big on reading comics or reading anything in that matter.
No.
So it's not like it's not possible.
Half the shit's drawn for you anyways. Just bring it to an animator and let them do it.
There you go.
Jesus. You guys just don't want money. That's what it is. They don't want Predator money. Predator money.
No.
And speaking of comic books, let's finally get to our second segue over there. My second segue. I'm so bad. I'm resting. Our second topic: books to adaptations, whether it be what regardless of whatever the adaptation is. That's where I'm bad at this right now. Book to film or animation adaptation, and we're gonna do one really bad adaptation in this episode, and one adaptation that's good and bad. And
also,
we'll pick another two for the next time, and then another two. There are so many adaptations. Trust us, we got plenty to go from.
and I feel like if we're gonna start, let's start with one that's part good, part bad. And I, again, like we were saying earlier, Percy Jackson is good, but bad. It's good if you isolate the two subjects alone. If you have books on one end and the movie on the other end, both stand alone, great pieces of art by themselves.
Yes.
However, the second you try to start tying in one to the other, you notice some discrepancies, like with the Lotus and the Casino. While I will not say that the movies messed it up, because I think the movies did an amazing job of showing the mythology and how all of it is kind of sort of hidden in plain sight, and also using the Lotus Casino as its own thing in Vegas was very clever in my opinion, because a what's a bigger addiction than gambling in this world that everyone is susceptible to, because gambling is everywhere. And if you don't believe me, play any gotcha game you've ever played in your life. If there's a character you want, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna gamble for it.
Dokkan.
Like that, the anthology behind making the Lotus flowers a actual casino where they sell, or I wouldn't say sell, where they just give you lotus flowers to keep you there in this trance for you to stay there. Perfect idea. Now in the books, that whole scene is completely and utterly different. They're not in the casino. I believe they're.
No, I think they're in a casino. It's well.
You think?
It's been a minute since I've read those. That the first one with my daughter, but I'm pretty sure they still go to a casino. But it's like, oh, it's not like a casino per se, but it's like this giant amusement park or like a casino slash amusement park thing because they draw in everyone from like kids to adults, all kinds of because it is a little bit
Yeah.
different in the books because they actually like have this whole arcade section in the books. So like that's very kid friendly, and then I think there's also a part that's casino. Like I said, I haven't read the book in a minute, but
Yeah.
the movie itself, both versions, TV and movie, completely ignore the whole arcade aspect of it, which is I think exactly where Percy Jackson gets. He that's how he comes out of his trance is through being in that arcade and starts asking questions and stuff.
Yeah.
The movie like has him walk past someone playing and talking to them, so it's like a little more subtle nod to the book versus whatever the fuck they did in the show. Is it crazy to say the fact that the movie is, while a terrible adaptation of the Percy Jackson books, still did more entertaining shit with one of the most important pieces of the story than the show, which is more accurate.
Yeah. Like it's weird as to how it plays out because again, like I was saying, if you were just to take that movie by itself, the entertainment value of that movie alone does an amazing job of telling the story of Percy Jackson.
Uh-huh.
Is just not foot for foot, tat for tat like it is in the book. Yeah, there's some things where it's like, okay, yeah, you got to kind of keep that the same, like the camp where all the demigods go. Like some of the things you have to keep integral to the story. But at the same time, you also look at it as like, holy shit, maybe this, like, disregard the books for 5 seconds. Just give me 5 seconds away from the books and watch this movie. You're just like, damn, that was a good story. It's like, and everybody wanted a sequel to it.
Uh-huh.
Like, not even people, it drew in people who didn't even read the books to want to go back and read the books. And that's why there was like, well, that was completely different from what it was in the book. Yeah, because it did something that it was supposed to do. It grabbed your attention.
Yeah, because I didn't read the books when I was a teenager, and neither did my wife. But my cousin did. He read them, right? So when those movies came out, he's like, they're not accurate at all. I'm close. I'm like, I wouldn't doubt it. Most adaptations almost never get the shit right anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll take your word for it. I haven't read it, but they're enjoyable for what they are. But I will 100% believe that they are not accurate. So,
Yeah.
we watched them before, again, not too long ago, and we're like, yeah, no, like if you don't know the main how things actually play out, you're like, this is fine for what it is. But then my daughter's like, we're gonna start reading. She can get into it, so we decided to read the Percy Jackson because my daughter loves the aspect of this book has an adaptation, so it entices her to like want to read the book. So we read the first one, then we went and watched the first movie, and I'm like, woo, this is really the fuck off. Like, holy shit.
It's like,
Except
yeah,
for the Lotus scene.
damn.
The Lotus scene is actually more accurate in the movie than it is in the show because the show fucking is so goddamn boring.
Yeah, no dragging on the show, but the show does a lot of just taking a story and stretching the piss out of it.
Like, my daughter sat through the Percy Jackson films, and she doesn't sit through a ton of stuff anyway, but she sat through the films. She did not care to sit through Percy Jackson after like half that first episode. She's like, I'm bored. I'm bored watching it. And it's like, how can people come out and defend it and go, well, it's not just for the book readers, but for kids? I can promise you most kids like my daughter probably dip the fuck out because it's boring. I only stuck with it to hopefully see it be more accurate and then maybe it was going to pick up a little bit. It was boring the whole fucking way through. They rushed through like 90% of the dialogue from the book, and the argument's like, well, Percy says a lot of this stuff in his head. So you want to know how you fix a character talking in his head to talking into a movie? Two ways. You actually have us, the audience, hear what he's fucking saying in his head, or you just have him fucking say what he's saying in his head.
Like the movies did such a good job on the scenes where his dad would talk to him, because again, it's not like they break from the action. They just have the actor look puzzled while Poseidon is speaking to the audience and him at the same time.
Yep.
It's not that difficult.
And I know that's not
It
in the
would-
book, but it was interesting.
It captivated me enough to be like, I'd believe a demigod would be getting cliff notes from his father about shit that's going on, especially one that doesn't believe that he did what he did. Like, all the other gods are straight up trying to say that, oh, Percy Jackson did this. It was him. It clearly was him. It could be no one else. And his dad was just like, I'm going to help my son because, you know, that's what a father does. Like, everything about it hit perfectly to the point where you're just like, it's believable.
Oh no, I agree, and like they made Annabelle not seem as smart. Like they try to make her seem so smart because like, oh look, she's figuring things out. You not really. You kind of just laid it fucking in front of her and said, "Here you fucking go."
Basically.
Like the whole scene with Auntie M and Medusa, they pretty much show me like, "Ooh, there's statues, must be Medusa." Whereas, funny enough, the movie has them slowly piece together what the fuck is going on, like how the book does it. The book starts having them piece together. It's slightly different in both situations. Now, the book's like an actual diner, whereas I'm pretty sure it's a diner. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Whereas this, both of them made them like basically a giant garden. Again, it works, but the book and the movie have them slowly piece together where the hell they're at. Whereas the show, they just show up, see some statues, immediately Grover's like, this is like my uncle. Oh god, we're in Medusa's lair. Like, what fuck? Y'all had longer per episode than really the movie ever did, and yet the movie manages to make them discover they're in Medusa's lair, and you guys couldn't do that? You could have easily done it to where no one thinks it's Medusa, but then while they're sitting with her, she starts asking questions, kind of puts them off their guard a little bit, and they're not thinking of it. And then she starts to ask really oddly specific questions that you can say Percy and Grover aren't picking up on, but Annabelle's picking up on it. She's like, no one would just ask something like that. But she doesn't say anything, you know? So she like hears her and she's like, okay, yeah, no, these questions are now becoming consistent. She's asking oddly specific questions that they're not catching on to. Because you can say it's the wisdom of Athena that allows her to almost kind of see through the question. And then through this, she starts to put pieces together. And then she's like, we're in Medusa's lair. Like, guys, we got to get the fuck up out of here.
We got to go.
Like we got to go. And then you can lead to all that. But no, they just basically straight up, you're Medusa. Like, god damn it.
It's like, oh, geez. What was your first clue?
All the excuses that people made for this fucking show, just because it was paced and tells the story more accurately, is such bullshit. Like I said, yeah, I know Percy talks in his head a majority of the books. Just have him say the shit out loud. It's not hard.
It's not going to kill you.
Plus, if he's supposed to have, you know, all these different mental issues, even though it's just him being a god, just make him speak out loud. Like, it's an easy fucking fix. This is just understanding how to make adjustments for writing that modern Hollywood writers don't fucking know. They just make up bullshit. And notice how I never once said anything about Annabelle being black.
Yeah.
Not once.
Yeah.
I said they wrote her character to be boring as hell. They took away Percy Jackson's funniness because everything that made Percy Jackson, or the actor, the perfect pick for Percy in that movie with Ryan Reynolds, they stripped away for his actual portrayal as Percy Jackson. Son of a bitch. Then the fucking part that pisses me this part pisses me off, not because I don't like the actor that played Zeus. I think Lance Reddick was a great choice. Going off topic, you know who'd be a good replacement for Lance Reddick?
Ooh.
Have you ever seen Spartacus?
Yes.
The Doctore,
Amadeus.
Yes, him. He'd be a good replacement for Lance Reddick. They both have a very intimidating look. They both have that kind of intimidating voice.
Ooh.
Lance is a little deeper, but like, come on, you can see it, right? Like, I can see it.
Yeah.
It's because I'm watching Spartacus.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching Spartacus for like first time in like 15 years. But yeah, no, I was watching. I'm like, damn, he'd be a good Zeus. He's got this. If they're gonna keep with this consistency, which I think they should, and I get that the gods can change their looks, which is the argument I always said, that if you want to cast certain ethnical actors to play a character like Zeus or Poseidon or any kind of god, especially Greek gods, with the constant argument for we must have ethnically correct people playing these parts. First off, if that's the case, why isn't every Greek god in Percy Jackson cast as a Greek actor or someone that is like at least 50% Greek? Yeah, real weird how that didn't fucking happen. But
don't go there.
Here's the fix: you have actual Greek actors or someone that's like 50% Greek play them in Olympus. When they're in Olympus, they are the Greek actors. But when they come to Earth, then you can just cast whoever the fuck you want to play them, because you can say they're taking on this role to blend in, and you could literally cast multiple actors to play Zeus at different times. He can appear as Lance, then he could appear as the guy that plays Doctore from Spartacus. Then you can have him.
I mean, for God's sakes, in actual like Greek mythology, Zeus turned into a goose
in a cloud.
He's done multiple things just to blend in.
Like a horse.
It doesn't. It's not. I'm not sitting here saying it can't happen, but it's genuinely what Zeus does. He just blends in to talk to people.
Yeah, like
or have sex with them as a goose, whichever one
and
happens.
A horse.
And a horse.
And a bull.
It happens.
It happens. So like that's what I was thinking when they first announced like Rance is going to play Zeus. I was like, oh, so we're going to go with like this kind of thing where if Zeus leaves, if they're going to make a change, like Zeus leaves Olympus to come to Earth, he looks like this. But then he comes back and changes this, and then he comes back and changes. I'm like, that's a cool idea. But then it's like, nope, that's what he always looks like. I'm like, what the? But y'all argue for ethnically correct casting now. That's not ethnically correct casting.
That is not even close to being.
Don't be trying to say we have to cast ethnically correct voice actors and then you don't do the same shit for live action.
We can't have our cake and eat it too with this one.
Come on, for fuck's sake.
Either you go all in or not at all.
Yes, commit to the bit or don't commit at all. Like shit. I feel bad that Lance had to pass away. He was a good actor, but now
good voice actor. Jesus.
Now you wrote yourself into a fucking hole, because now you obviously have to recast Zeus. But you know what you could have done if you didn't do that? If you had just made him like the human version of Zeus, just cast a different actor and just say Zeus just changed how he looked when he comes to Earth. Like boom,
bingo bongo,
bingo bongo, dumbasses. Look, and as we said, Percy Jackson sits at this weird thing because the books great, the adaptations have their pros and cons. I think the movies are more entertaining, but yes, the show is vastly more accurate.
It sits in this weird middle ground of done right but not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of books that sit in that middle ground. I'm looking at Harry Potter right now. Ready Player One. That's another one that was done right, just not done accurately.
Honestly, The Lord of the Rings. Done right.
Done right.
Technically accurate, but let's be fair. Tolkien writes a lot of boring shit, so.
Oh god.
Thank God Peter Jackson's like, we gotta spice this shit up a little bit.
And again, it could always be worse. It could be Aragon.
It could be Rings of Power. It could be Aragon.
Don't even give me. Speaking of Aragon,
is that the bad one you want to talk about this time?
That's the one I want to get off my chest right now, because as someone who read the books in middle school and high school, because at the time I wasn't the biggest of readers. Let me get that right out of the way, because when I was growing up, we had summer readings, and summer readings sucked because it's like, oh, you got to memorize this book that we're gonna have a test on as soon as you go to school. But guess what? No one else is going to fucking test you on the book, because there's other curriculum that needs to be taught at the same time. So it either never happens, or it was just a ploy to get you to read all summer, which sucked. And then what made it even double as worse was that a lot of the books they chose had movies coming out about them literally within that summer. I will never forget, they had us read Ender's Game. And Ender's Game, the movie, came out that June. I was like, so why do we have to keep reading these books if the movie is literally just coming out within that same summer? I don't get it.
Oh yeah, no, kids will always gravitate to the actual adaptation over the book any day, unless you got
Yes.
a bookworm like I was. I was the bookworm doofus that I would take giant books to school and read them because I wanted to read. So like I would take the Aragon books to school. I had the full compendium of all 7 Narnia books in one. I took that to school and I was reading through it.
Yeah.
I was that fucking nerd to where it's like, you have to read this story over the summer. Say less, teach. Say less. I'll read it.
Easy, light work, no reaction.
I'll do it. I don't give a shit. Everyone's like, oh, bitch, it's fucking. Yeah, I loved reading. So yes, much like you, I read Aragon in school, and when the movie came out, I was excited, and then died a little.
A part of me died, especially once I watched the movie.
It's so bad, but there's good in it. But it's a bad adaptation. But there is good in it.
Like the CGI for the dragon, great.
It still holds up pretty well. I just watched it
It's
months ago.
still solid.
Still pretty solid.
Such a solid CGI, and it doesn't look like, because again, the movie came out in 2006, and you'd sit there like, oh, 2006. That's when CGI was just getting started. It was probably at its worst. And then I raised you the argument of, look at Speed Racer. Speed Racer came out in that time of the early CGI, and yet it still holds up today, because as Speed Racer is in its comic book funny animation style, it looks like if you were to take the cartoon and put it in a live action movie.
I know I'm so surprised at how well that movie actually translates to its anime counterpart. I was so shocked.
It's amazing what happens when you put the directors of The Matrix on a comic book movie.
Hey, those they transition. Those ladies, they know what to do when it comes to that aspect. Absolutely. But I don't know, if you ask most people, they say CGI was at its peak in like the early 2000s. You have Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, like they say CGI has gotten worse. But I don't know, if you take Aragon's dragon, Saphira, and you compare it to Game of Thrones dragons, honestly, it still holds up pretty well compared. Though the Game of Thrones dragons do obviously look better, but gotta admit they still look like she looks really good.
Oh no, 110%. I think the real borderline issue when it comes to CGI is that I think we're all fatigued by it.
Yes,
because at a certain point, like you said, in that early 2000s, 2010s block of movies, every movie had some way, shape, or form an extensive amount of CGI. Like, the example I like to go back and look at all the time is 2006's Iron Man. The first suit up scene in that Iron Man was unequivocally, like, it holds up. But when I saw it in 2006, it looked way better. It honestly looked better in 2006 than it does now. Now, granted, if you try to mess that with any of the newer versions of Iron Man suiting up, you're completely outclassed, because those newer Iron Man suit up scenes are just way more polished. They look that much better. And it actually doesn't look as bad in the green screen until I think the nano suit part where he's wearing the Iron Man suit and he doesn't have the helmet on, and you're just like, yeah, you can tell that's CGI because look how bad his head is sticking out from the rest of it. Like
the bobblehead look.
Yeah, it just looks bobbleheaded because the suit is so much more animated over the top. But again, I'd argue, go back and look at Iron Man 1. That first suit up scene, it's still the same bobblehead look. It's just everything around that scene is darkened, so it looks more realistic. And a lot of the movies nowadays have a higher vibrance and hue to them, so the CGI just looks better. Or, I mean, the CGI itself looks better. In actuality, it looks bad because you can notice the head more.
Yeah, you see it more when you watch older films with the CGI, but I think at the time, the teams behind it weren't as rushed and they cared a little bit more. Whereas like now they're like CGI and everything, so they're just like, they're like rushing through it, so it's not. It looks better, but you see it more. It doesn't blend as naturally seamlessly. So even though you watch older stuff like early Iron Man, Aragon, Pirates of the Caribbean, you're like, yeah, I can see it's CGI, but you're like, it feels more seamlessly a part of this world versus the new stuff that looks really great with what modern CGI can do. But you're like, it stands out so much more, and then it becomes aggravating.
Yeah. Not to mention, especially when you look at a lot of the older films, a lot of films back in the day were dark. I mean, really dark. Aragon is in that list of good CGI, but is it because it was done well, or because everything around that CGI character was so dark to the point where you can't tell where the CGI is being implemented in?
It's a little bit of both.
Like,
it's absolutely a little bit of both. Because Saphira she'll look good in some of the shots during the day.
Yeah.
And then like she still seems really natural, obviously, at night.
Like it looks great. But again, back to the whole, where does it line up with the book? Oh shit. Outside of the way how the dragons look, I can't really say that they really hit on every note. Like it's like a 75-25 split. Like 75% is the dragons looking good. The 25% is how much of the story we actually decided to take from the book.
They rushed a lot of the story. The villain does not feel like, if they'd have kept going and did all the books with the actor that played fuck, how say that? Fuck, you say the villain's name? I forgot his name. Viltrumix. I'll remember it afterwards. I just don't think that actor would have been a good villain because of how they talk about and portray him as the villain in the books. Like, I'm expecting someone very dark and menacing, and that's like their commanding presence. Galvatrix, thank you. That actor just doesn't. He's a good actor. He just doesn't come across to me as how Galvatrix is described.
No, I think it was a poor choice for the actor there.
But Robert Carlyle as the Shade was a great choice, because I think he's actually a really good actor to play a creepy ass fucking character like that.
Yeah.
He was a great choice for the Shade.
And it's like, is he just that creepy in real life, or does he do that job of playing a creepy character?
I don't know.
You don't know.
He plays a great Rumpelstiltskin in the Once Upon a Time series, so I think it translates. He just can really embody these supernaturally dark characters really well, because I think he was a great choice for the Shade. And the only last positive thing I have about it was Jeremy Irons as Braun.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Irons is, as from acting standpoint, I don't think he does, or I wouldn't say I don't think he does. I don't think he's ever had a movie not a movie adaptation, just a movie in general where he's acted badly.
No, and that's crazy, because I don't know if you've seen this movie, but the 2001 Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
he might be the only thing in that movie that is acting, besides Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans is acting in that movie too. They're the only ones that are acting, but you can tell when you go back and watch it now, you're like, he just needed a fucking paycheck, because he's throwing it out there. He's laying into this character, but you're like, he does not give a shit about this character.
It's like the old Green Lantern movies. You're just sitting there, it's like, yeah, this is all bad, but Ryan Reynolds is putting his best work out there. Like, Ryan Reynolds is trying.
He's trying. It's just not good.
It's just nothing else around this is any type of good, and that's bad. Yeah.
And it's so weird that he goes from that movie with dragons to another movie with dragons. Jeremy Irons loves dragons.
It's like that. It's like the guy in freaking Sonic. How he's always paired with a CGI companion that has quips.
Oh, like, yeah. I saw that somewhere. Maybe you sent it to me. But yes, James Marsden.
Just wait, dude. Wait till Doomsday, where him and Rocket are going to be best friends.
I kind of hope he does. I hope him and Rocket become the bestest of friends.
Like, I literally want that to happen just to keep perpetuating the meme of him and CGI characters.
Oh, it has to. It's going to have to. They're going to have to do it. It's somewhere. Right? Or CGI Hugh Jackman really little, just to kind of sit with the CGI-ness. But in terms, with the bad adaptations, Aragon is a terrible, terrible adaptation, because it only gets certain things right. Braun, the Shade, Saphira. Yeah. I don't think the cast for Aragon is good. I don't think he could have been better, but they just didn't do him right. Um, Galbatorix is awfully the worst fucking casting choice they could have fucking done. Murtaugh, don't believe that actor for a fucking minute.
No.
God, Jesus. I haven't even read the Murtaugh book yet, and I don't believe that shit. Let's see. Who the fuck else was in that damn movie?
Oh, Jesus.
You know what? I don't know what I remembered picturing as a kid when I read the books. But the Razak, the little creature summons he does.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're good or bad. I can't remember what the fuck they're supposed to look like. I don't know.
Ugh, that's so bad.
Oh my god! But Eric, sadly, as much as we love the series, Aragon has to go on the bad adaptations list. It's just a bad adaptation across the board. Story technically told the same story, but they rushed a lot of it, and it's just there's so much bad with it. And it's crazy because I defend Narnia. All the Narnia films go, in my opinion, on the good adaptation, and we'll put them on the list to discuss that in another episode because I don't want to get sidetracked with bringing them up. But I think Narnia goes in the good adaptations list. I think all three, as a big Narnia reader, which is crazy because I don't care much for religion, and I recognize every bit of religious innuendos in those books.
Yeah.
And I still was like, I don't give a fuck. It's a magical world with talking lions. I don't give a shit.
Or just like Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim did an excellent, almost the perfect job from the portrayal of the characters to the. And again, I could go all day on this. We're not doing it this episode, but we will get into just Scott Pilgrim was one of those diamonds in the rough when it came to we're making this into an adaptation, and the fact that it didn't get as much love as it did when it came out is telling on our society, and it's crazy because since the animated series came out on Netflix, everybody's like, "Oh my god, Scott Pilgrim is so good." I was like, "Where were all you fans when the live action came out? That was really good. That was done really well. Where were all y'all then?"
Yeah, but you know what? Most of them probably just threw it away to mid 2000s goofy ass schlock films. Look, as a teenager during the era of the 2005 2010 run, like that's my peak of teenagerness, we had some great fucking films, even if they were bad. We had great films. People talk about, man, the movie industry just is not the same anymore, and they always bring up movies that took place between like 2000 and 2010 in terms of like movies were being put out, whether good or bad, they were just all entertaining. Like I said, Dungeons and Dragons. Have you ever actually watched that movie?
Yes. The first one?
No. The 2001 one with Jeremy Irons?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the one that came out recently. I was like,
no. Who hasn't seen
that?
No. You haven't seen the new one?
No, not yet.
Oh my god.
It's on my watch list.
Okay, so just to let you guys know, at some point we plan on doing with these episodes, like getting together and doing watch lists for the episode. It's just watching a movie and talking about it for the episode instead of different discussions. One of them was going to be the 2001 Dungeons and Dragons, and we might just watch it to show how fucking bad this movie is.
I mean, I feel like now we have to do we're gonna have to do one episode of that one and one of the new one, and just do a direct compare and contrast between the two of like what it did good, what it did bad. Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Biggest one being is the 2001 is just a bad movie.
It's all around bad.
It's a bad movie that takes a really which is it's like well, we have dungeons and we have dragons, Dungeons and Dragons, and then the new one's this is like watching a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So yeah, honestly, that's gonna be something we do at some point because that movie in 2001 is so bad. But I remember watching it as a kid. I'm like, I love this shit because it's so bad. I knew it was bad. The shit coming out of it, like it was so. I'm like, this shit's so bad, but I love it because it's so bad.
Or like Osmosis Jones, like arguably one of the most entertaining movies that also talks about the human body and to some degree. Right? But at the same time, it's like this movie didn't get a sequel. This movie with this cast was never awarded a sequel. It was awarded a television show on Cartoon Network, but not a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That's criminal.
if y'all just weren't a kid or a teenager during the 2010, y'all missed just a run of just good and bad movies, but just purely entertainment across the board. Raunchy films were entertaining. Good movies were good movies. Yeah, movies in the middle that were like, this is a solid movie. It's entertaining as fuck. It's not great, but it's entertaining.
Like, dude, where's my car?
Dude,
like,
where's my car? Oh my god, that's a whole conversation. That's a whole topic of just good movies from 2000 to 2010.
That movie in and of itself is like, Jesus H, what are we
Zoltan!
doing?
If y'all don't get that reference, y'all gotta go watch that movie.
Or another absolutely banger of a movie that should have got a sequel, in my opinion, was The Emperor's New Groove. Like, again, how did this movie come out and no one immediately went like, we need a sequel around the Emperor? No, we're gonna give you a sequel, but it's gonna be about Kronk. And I'm just like, look, I love Patrick Warburton. I love him.
He got a show.
He did.
He got Emperor's New School.
Which, I mean, yeah.
To be fair, Disney does not typically do very well with its sequel films. I don't fucking know why.
I don't know either.
I
Lilo and Stitch should have got a better sequel film than what it did, but that one went straight to DVD because they didn't think it would sell.
And it's not even both of its sequels aren't even bad. They're just not as good.
Just didn't have the production value.
The TV show is a better overall story than the actual two sequel movies. Like, I don't know. Disney just is not good at making sequels. They can make a hell of a first film, but to wrap up this segment before we move on, the Percy Jackson book, great book. I don't like that Rick Riordan tried to use the excuse of, well, I wanted for the TV show, I wanted to cast people of different ethnicities because I didn't realize I wrote a bunch of white characters. Bitch, you were 35 years old when you wrote those books. Do not lie to me. That's like me trying to say that I wrote a book now and didn't realize that my characters were all one ethnicity. Oh, shut the fuck up. I would excuse Christopher Paolini writing Aragon with an all-white cast before I'd ever excuse Rick Riordan. Christopher Paolini was 16 when he wrote Aragon, 17. I expect a teenager to not realize he's writing a bunch of one ethnical characters out of not doing it on purpose. I refuse to believe a 35-year-old man with kids who is writing a story for his kids doesn't realize he's writing a bunch of white characters. Give me a fucking break. But the books are still great. Give me a fucking break, Ricky. Give me a fucking break. Percy Jackson sits in this weird category. It's got a really bad adaptation and a really okay adaptation, but they both have their goods and their bads. Percy Jackson's truly an oddity in terms of book to adaptation shit. And Aragon, as much as we hate to say it, is a bad adaptation.
It's
bad, and
for all the good that it does, it's still bad.
If y'all want, we'll add that to the list of shit we end up watching to show y'all how bad it is. It's better acted than the 2001 Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
but it's not a good adaptation. Not even close. Not even close.
It could be worse.
Could have been
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
It could have been.
And speaking of God, Jesus Christ. It could have been Snow White.
Yeah. These aren't. We're not saying that these are the worst in the bunch. Because trust me, there are worse. We just wanted more potential. That's all we're looking for.
Go watch any Scorpion King after The Rock. Terrible films.
Oh, Jesus.
Terrible films. But speaking of films that have an awkward back-end way of doing their adaptations, Star Wars and a big celebration of 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Let's talk about the 9 canonical Star Wars films. We can add the shows in there as we see fit, but I want to really talk about the films because I've talked about the shows enough.
Christ.
I went off on Star Wars shows last week or last time too. Oh Lord. Okay. So we both agree that in terms of Star Wars fans, we are the type of fans that sit truly in the middle, that we don't love nor hate everything Star Wars, but we do love and hate everything Star Wars. We don't
But
sit on
don't get
either
me
one
wrong.
side of the fence. We're right in the middle. We love stuff. We also hate stuff. Like we
Don't get me
know.
wrong. You give me a video game where I get to wield a lightsaber and force powers, I'm all for it. Lightsabers, the weapons and abilities in Star Wars are too cool for me to not like what's going on here. The issue with or at least my issue with Star Wars is when everyone starts going through the movies, 1 through 9, it's actually 3 through 4 or 3 through 6. They're the best because those came out first. And then there's another group of people who's like, well, actually, the first 3 in the series were actually the penumbral best because they set up everything that happens afterwards. And then if you like the last 3, then I guess you're part of that weird group of who like 7, 8, and 9. Even though one of their movies or one of the plot points in one of them was like, we have no gas to get there. I was just like, cool. The space economy is fucked too because they don't have money for gas.
Yep.
Like I
As someone that's doing a rewatch of the films, and I'm putting the Clone Wars TV series in there because I like the use of that series to tie in 2 to 3 and all that into shit. But I'm
that's such a
rewatching.
great job.
It really does, and I'm glad for it because I've always said that if like Star Wars, the main crux of the story is always told from the films, like how Star Wars is one of those adaptations where the main story is the books. I mean, not the main story are the films, and adaptations are comics, which is weird because normally it's the other way around. But all the stuff that gets added outside of the films, if it pulls from stuff that's used and hinted at in the films, I think it's a great way to do it because that's how you should take it. The additional information that the film gives you, but it can't go into because of time constraints, and expand upon it in shows. Don't fucking create a scenario that doesn't happen in a movie and put it in your adaptation and claim that that's why it makes sense in the movie. Fuck no. If it's important enough to be important for why it makes sense in the movie, put it in the fucking movie. Talking about the whole conversation with Rey and Luke and Skywalker bullshit. Apparently, I didn't watch the last film. I refused to watch it. Apparently, Rey has that conversation with Luke, and they're just talking. But the crux of the conversation, where basically Luke kind of allows her, or not, like he implies to her that you don't have to. You can choose your family. You don't have to be tied to what you truly, who you are, the family you have. You can choose your family. That's what leads to her to say, "I'm Rey Skywalker," because that's basically his statement that, hey, you can choose to be a Skywalker. You can choose to take our name if you want. But apparently that didn't happen in the fucking film. It only happens in the books. But it's very important to the film. So I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's an important plot point. If y'all would have just had Luke say some things, even if you'd have just had Luke say, when it comes to family, you can't choose the family you're born in, but you can choose the family you decide, but you can choose the family you want to be with. And like, you do that little look, and then you use that. You don't go anywhere with it. You don't expand upon it, but have it there. And then in the end of the movie, she says that, and then you use the comics to expand upon that conversation that she has with Luke. The movie set it up. The movie put it there for you. So now you're just using the comics to expand upon what Luke was talking about instead of creating bullshit, a conversation that doesn't happen at all in the movie to justify your bullshit ass ending.
Yep.
And Rey should have just been, I'm Rey. I hate the whole, I'm Rey Skywalker. Fuck off. I don't care that she chose the name Skywalker. She's better suited to be, I'm Rey. Just Rey. You have 2 movies straight up tell you that. And then they say,
not
fuck
to
it.
mention the biggest, in my opinion, arguably, the biggest ball drop that they ever had in Star Wars comes from those last 3 movies. Because you have arguably the coolest story of Finn being a defective stormtrooper who then sides against them and is working with Rey. And I'm not saying that, he's force sensitive and he's going to use the force. But at the same time, wouldn't that have been a better story to have a stormtrooper defect, find out he's force sensitive, and then give him his own lightsaber?
I'm pretty sure that was their intention, and then they just said, fuck it.
Yeah, like it was all written out for it to be just like that. Hell, because even in the scene where he fights the shock trooper with the lightsaber, his combat with the lightsaber, for it being his first ever time using one of those, up to my knowledge,
Mm.
he fought that shock trooper really well.
Yep.
Like, he easily could have gotten his own lightsaber and had his own story. Or where I thought this was going, and this is a long shot, I was thinking that he was a descendant of Mace Windu. And that would have been a perfect penumbral opportunity to like kind of pull in Mace Windu. Like, yeah, he didn't die when he fell because clearly you don't see his body, so you don't know if he's dead or alive. And again, I'm of the firm belief that if I don't see your dead corpse on the ground in anything, you're not dead. That they're just using your character for something else, somewhere else, anywhere.
Well, you know
Until
what?
I
You know what? Before you continue, even if we would have seen his body, clearly Disney, Star Wars don't give a shit because we saw the Emperor fucking explode in Episode
oh
6,
yeah.
and he still comes back. So, fuck it.
Yeah. This is like it's one of those things where it's like you could have easily not only tied in arguably everyone's favorite character of Jedi. Like a lot of people were like, oh no, mine's Yoda. Oh no, mine's Luke. Oh, mine's Obi-Wan. Mine is Mace Windu. I don't care what anyone says. I will argue with you and you can go argue with the wall. Mace Windu is my favorite Jedi of all time because A, purple lightsaber is arguably the coolest fucking lightsaber in the verse, bar none. Like the only one that comes close are the Sith lightsabers, and that's because they're red and they all have something like weird extending from the sides of them or some shit because evil. But literally, Mace Windu's had the coolest. He had arguably the coolest fight with Palpatine. Like it was everything about Mace Windu is dope, and for them to have tied him into like if he just imagine how much different the story would have been if we would also had like in that episode or in that ninth film where they would have had Rey do her whole thing with Skywalker, and then in the back end or on the other side of things, you have him looking for Mace Windu.
Honestly, yeah.
It's like
we're about to get a ton of comments being like, of course the black ho-host likes the black Jedi.
Fight me. I don't care. I don't care. Like you tell me there's only like 3 black guys in the whole galaxy anyway.
I mean, they're all pretty cool, so I can't really deny why. Like, there's no reason to not like them.
No. You're going to tell me Lando wasn't a cool person?
Hell no, he's cool as shit.
Exactly. Lando was an amazing person.
Maybe that's just because it's Billy D. Williams, but yeah, he's cool as shit.
Billy D. Williams and Childish Gambino in the Solo movie.
God, that was a great fucking casting.
Exactly.
Look, my favorite character is Darth Vader. Not Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. And I get it, he's a merciless murdering psychopath, but I love that robotic murdering psychopath.
Like getting us, especially in
But that's a good theory. Fuck, that's a good theory.
Yeah.
That would have been really fucking cool. But you gotta admit, if it would have been that case, there would have been someone's gonna make an animation of this. If Finn would have truly been Mace's descendant in some way. So before I move over this, descendant as in like child descendant, like child to grandkid child descendant, or like a relative, like Mace had a cousin or a sister or some shit.
You could do it either or. Like the least likely one is that Mace had a child because I don't think he would ever like
break the Jedi code.
I don't think he would break the Jedi code. I think Mace is like he's too much of a stand-up. Hell, he wouldn't want to let Anakin on the fucking council.
And a hard ass.
Like if he wouldn't allow Anakin on the console, I doubt he was having his own kid. But I could totally see them saying, yeah, Mace Windu had a sister, and this is his nephew. Like this is
or great nephew or something like that.
Yeah, some weird shit like that. Like they could easily go on that route.
Honestly, I like that. I do like the idea of him more of Mace after getting shot out of a fucking window, going, "You know what? The Jedi are dead. I'm gonna stop being a Jedi." 'Cause, I mean, Obi-Wan did for the most part.
Yeah,
Yoda did.
Obi-Wan
Like the just the pure irony that Mace of all people would have ended up having a kid, which would have led to a grandkid, is funny because then you could have the scene where Vader's like, "You son of a bitch!
It's like,
You hypocrite, you son of a bitch!
motherfucker! You son of a bitch!"
Like, I want to see in the afterlife when Rey is like, I'm all the Jedi." You just see Anakin and Mace's Force Ghost going, "You motherfucker! All the shit you gave me!" Yes.
It's like, what do you want me to do? You killed all those kids. What was there left for us, you ass?
Someone
Like,
make
you
that.
started this. You.
Someone make the animation of that of Anakin and Mace's Force Ghosts being pissed off at each other because Finn is secretly Mace's grandkid. And Anakin finds out, "Motherfucker!" Right there at the end too.
Anakin like looking at him with that smug look on his face. Is like, really? This is what you did? You did this after I couldn't get on the count? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Like, just
so that's how we're doing it.
And it's got to happen in that last scene too. Like, something's revealed with Finn, and you just see Anakin's Force Ghost just turn and look at Mace.
Dude, like honestly, they could have done an end credit scene of Finn going to this hut. There's this old black lady there. She says nothing. All she does is unveil
the lightsaber.
The lightsaber, and Finn turns it on, and it's purple, and then boom, cut to black. That's it.
Oh, that's a good setup for a Finn series. But y'all pissed it away, Disney.
Yep. Rey Skywalker.
Yeah. You pissed away a perfect character and a perfect theory. Fuck, I mean, I think I'm sure other people have said Finn is secretly tied to Mace Windu.
I guarantee. I'd be willing to bet my entire life savings, PS5 and computer, that someone else has also said that exact thing that I've said.
So much better of a theory than fucking Rey. And that's not a dig at Daisy Ridley, but those three films had the right potential with Finn. You market it as Finn, and then you relegate him to Rey. Fuck off. God damn it. All for her to be overly fucking powerful. I don't care about no chosen one powerful bullshit. Like, whatever, but like, y'all took a character that y'all set up to be a secondary character and just threw him out the fucking window for the girl. And let's face it,
turned him into Han Solo 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. And y'all know it's fucking true. You guys watching this that want to defend this, y'all know it's true, because what got aggressively fucking pushed during that run of the sequels? The Force is female. They were so dead set on pushing that agenda behind it that the character Finn got fucked. He got fucked across the board.
And again,
even if you don't want to say he's Mace Windu's relative, it's still.
Yeah. And it's not like we haven't had Force sensitive females in there. Fucking Ahsoka. Ahsoka exists.
Yes.
Within the Clone Wars, we've seen exactly how she acts with Anakin and how Anakin was with her, with a Force sensitive female who was arguably, I'm not going to say she was as strong as Anakin, but she was pretty damn close to she could hold her own without Anakin's help. Like, he trained her perfectly well.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to sit up here and say that a woman can't, like, if you're going to make anyone the fucking chosen one, why not Ahsoka? She was trained by the fucking chosen one himself.
Yeah, if you're gonna push this Force as female, why not push it behind probably
a known character that everyone knows?
Yeah, and even before Ahsoka, we had Leia, Princess Leia. When is she ever not badass in any of those three original films? She's fantastic in each and every one of them.
They already hint at that shit all the time.
Like, the reveal that she's Luke's twin, that she's basically a Skywalker, like, that sets her up to be just really good, gifted in the Force. On top of that, but she's still a good character all the way through. I've never heard anyone say Leia was an agenda pushed. Like, I've never heard anyone say that. Nope. Even the crazy diehard Star Wars that are like, only the original films are what's real, they've never negatively said shit about Princess Leia.
Nope. I've heard more negative things about Jar Jar than I've heard about Leia.
Yes. And then you get the prequels, and be what it may for the first one, people grew to love the character of Padme. They're like, nah, she's a badass fucking character. The Clone Wars makes it even better. Like, we've had the Clone Wars introduces Asajj Ventress and other female characters to the Star Wars universe. Star Wars fans don't hate females. They hate what Disney tried to push with Rey, because you have this. Rey could be a fun and great character, but y'all just rammed that shit down everyone's fucking throat, and it pissed them off.
It's not a sexist thing, a race thing. It's not that. It's when you take something that has good bone structure from top to bottom, the whole thing, great bones, and then you decide to piss it away because you think the fans won't like it if it's written that way. But if it's written X way to show women are strong, and like when you start pushing a different agenda than Star Wars, because mind you, again, like we said in just a few seconds ago, there were strong force using women in the entire story before Rey even existed. It's just the fact that you try to force feed us Rey and make us like Rey as a character instead of giving us something more natural and predominant like Ahsoka, like you can't force people to like something they won't like.
Yeah, and the fact that they again screwed Finn. Everyone was really excited for Finn. I mean, obviously the racists weren't, but whatever. Most people were excited behind Finn. You know, I'm seeing the posters of like I just see the posters of Finn when they start releasing them. I'm like, shit, this is the new Jedi. I think before I even saw anything about Rey, I'm like, this is the new Jedi, or the new Jedi person gonna be thing. I'm like, okay, and then it's like, yeah, he's actually a defective stormtrooper. Like, okay.
Like when I heard that part, I was like, after watching that episode 7, I was like, holy shit, a stormtrooper can actually defect. Wait a minute, I thought they were all just fucking brainwashed clones. Wait a goddamn.
Well, the stormtroopers were actual people.
Oh yeah, the stormtroopers, not the clone troopers.
Yeah, they phased out the clones. Okay, but even before all the details released for episode 7, I thought episode 7 was with when they released that Finn is a defective stormtrooper. I was like, oh, so this is only set like maybe a couple years after episode 6. Yeah, and like the remnants are still. I mean, I didn't realize it was gonna be 20 fucking years later. I think that also hurt it going that deep past the. Because then you have questions like, why the fuck are the stormtroopers still around? Yeah. How the fuck did this goddamn? How did the Third Reich, first order, not Third Reich, First Order? How did they come to be? What the fuck happened in 20 years? Right. So
Third Reich, First Order, it's the same shit. It's just in a different housing.
That's true. So the idea that Finn is a defective stormtrooper, or would have been a stormtrooper. The idea if episode 7, 8, 9 would have been set literally like 2-3 years after the original trilogy, Finn is a stormtrooper that remnants of the Empire is trying to hold on to, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck up out of here, and they're like, traitor, and he turns out to be a Jedi. He's the one finding Luke, and then you make Rey like an apprentice of his that he found. Don't shoe her in, like make her a part of his story that Luke was looking for students, which we know he did. That way you can give your Rey, and she's already kind of like learning Jediism stuff because Luke found her. Then you have Finn, who's the focal point, and they bring him in, and then he's learning shit. So you get someone that turned from the Empire and became a prolific character for the future of the galaxy. And then like you can do like 10, 11, 12 with the Third Reich and bullshit.
And then, not to mention, like, it was so perfectly set up too, because the whole scene where he's like, I don't have a weapon, and she literally hands him the lightsaber. It's right here. It's
perfect.
It was written so well for him to be set up as a Jedi, and they just like, actually, Finn is going to be the new Han Solo. We're going to have him fly the Millennium Falcon. We're going to have Finn be in charge of the Millennium Falcon with Chewie's like.
I think he got bumped down even lower than fucking Chewie, because then they give the Falcon basically to what's his name? Poe.
Yeah, they gave it to Lando. Bo. My bad, not Lando.
No, Lando had it for a short time too.
He did, but
yeah, they pretty much made Poe Dameron the new Han, so he got pushed further. He's even lower than Chewie because Chewie still sticks around. So yeah. The sequel trilogy would have been so much better with Finn. That's not a diss at Rey. Like if Finn would have just been the focal point character with Rey being the secondary character that was a student of Luke's, I think that would have been so much better. I think again, for me, the sequel trilogy should have been about right after episode 6, the buildup of Luke's temple to inevitably Kylo, Ben running away, which would then set up what we had in the sequel trilogy with Kylo joining the First Order and becoming the new menace. You spend 3 films setting up his, Rey, and Finn's like triangle of character dynamics. You get a really interesting true sequel trilogy with
You
10,
really
11,
have
12. Because then you
again,
could have
its bone structure.
yeah, you'd have Kylo being, basically to me, I always think the perfect way, because what does George always say? It's poetry, it rhymes. You have the Skywalker that fell to the darkness and returned in Anakin. You have the Skywalker that never fell to the darkness and always stayed in the light, Luke. And then you could have the Skywalker that fell into the darkness and could never find his way back, Kylo or Ben.
Yeah.
And then the dichotomy between him, Finn, and Rey would have been Rey was a student with Ben at the temple. She kind of grew up with him. I wouldn't say grew up with him, but like you set up through those films that this is someone that that means a lot to her. So the idea of him leaving and turning bad in the end, like it hurts her. So she's like, I don't know if I can really bring him down that I should. And then you got Finn, who's like, I got brought into this. I'm not as close to him. I will cut this motherfucker down.
Again, that you could also echo in the whole Mace Windu thing. Of like, I remember what my uncle was like, or my mom told me stories about Uncle fucking
Uncle Mace.
You could have set it up.
Something.
Uncle Mace is just like, look, I know how Jedi are supposed to act. He isn't one of them, so he has to go. Like they gotta have a whole trichotomy there of Finn being on one side, Ben being on the other side, and her smack dab in the middle trying to make both sides understand where each one went wrong and how they can form this new Jedi. I wouldn't say like make Ben a Jedi, but again, you could at least had some type of there was structure there.
The structure there, because
the blueprint was there.
Yeah, because you have Luke after Ben leaves, like maybe in the second of the sequel films. That's when Ben leaves, or after the end of the first film, whatever the fuck ever. It's how you set up. You have Luke just kind of like lose his hope because he lost his nephew, and then he's like, fuck, and then like you can spend the rest of that first film setting up like he lost his nephew, he's afraid to tell his sister, and then by the end of that film he finds out that he's joined with the first fucking resistance, because you like do that first film like time jumps, so you go from like 2 years after with Finn, and then you have like 5 years later at a certain point do this kind of story, and then Ben leaves, or 6 years or 10 years or whatever, and then like 10 years after that, then like the First Order is making its come out, and then you just have Luke go into the last 2 films of the sequel trilogy being just a broken man because he failed his nephew. And then you have to have Rey trying to hold it together, because she's like, my master's fucked up because his nephew ran away, became basically what he feared, because he turned into basically his damn grandfather. Basically. And then you got Finn that's going full on fucking hard ass Mace Windu over here, going, no, we gotta kill the motherfucker.
We gotta bring back order to the Jedi, and it starts with his head on a mantle.
Yeah, and you could have that concept of Finn, like all this time training with Luke, even though Luke was trying to teach him, like, the old way, the reason why the Jedi fell during the rise of the Empire was because they became so blinded by their desire to keep up this code that was not a proper fit. But Finn gets so lost in reading about the old Jedi that he becomes a stickler for it. And Rey is like,
they could even done Darth Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar, yes.
Again, funnily enough, Fortnite has a Darth Jar Jar skin, because I don't know why every other media besides the actual Star Wars Lucasfilm team decides to give Darth Jar Jar an idea and a try than the actual people who write fucking Star Wars.
Because they don't want to make that shit come even remotely canon.
Like, dude, I'm sorry. It makes the most sense because he's literally the most gullible fucker in the universe.
No, he's secretly the true mastermind. It wasn't Sidious. It was all Jar Jar.
All Jar Jar.
It was all Jar Jar.
So holy shit.
To me, the Star Wars films are the first 6 films, and then the sequel trilogy is just a failed sequel trilogy. There's so much bones there that they ruined any real shot. I think
They pissed it away.
They pissed it away. The characters that you put in the sequel trilogies, none of them want to return. So you almost, if you create 10, 11, 12, you have to move past them. Because Daisy's, I think, admitted she never wants to come back to do these films. Even though she's seen as Rey, she doesn't want to. John Boyega's like, fuck no. Oscar Isaac, I'm pretty sure said, fuck no. So you took a very strong chance with these movies and you fucking pissed it away. Look, say what you will about the prequel films and how episode 1 and 2 have a lot of boring ass shit going on, and they're just
it's politics, it's space, it's government.
It is, but I don't think. I mean, besides Hayden Christensen for a hot time, I don't think any of the actors ever were like, I won't return to reprise this role if it's the right thing. And now Hayden's back, like he's full in now.
Like Hayden's literally back.
As I said in the last episode, I've defended this man since episode fucking 2, and he's made interviews in this last Star Wars celebration that he said he would love to see Jake Lloyd, the Anakin from the first film, come join them at these events. He would love that. I mean, hopefully Jake gets to the point to where he can see that, like, look, like hopefully Hayden can reach out to him like, look, I know what you went through because I went through a lot of it too.
Yeah.
They've changed. The right people are the big primitive event. Like, come back with me. Trust me. You'll see the love that's there. We'll protect you. And I'm telling you, the new wave of Star Wars fans will protect Jake. But I understand his apprehension. But Hayden's came back to reprise his roles as Anakin and Vader. Ewan's always down to reprise his roles as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think Natalie Portman would reprise as Padme if the right story. I know Samuel Jackson would absolutely come back to play Mace if they ever made a story about Mace.
Holy shit.
Let's see. Who else? I mean, shit. Tamara Morrison came back to redo Boba, Django. He's like, the prequel trilogy for what they are, the actors are always willing to come back for these roles.
Unless you piss away their potential.
Unless you piss away the potential was what they did with the sequel trilogy. Because the 3 main actors, they don't want anything to do with it. And honestly, the fans are pretty bad. Honestly, they still are. But it's not even just the fans that are like, we don't want to do it. It's because they look at these films and they're like, they fucking squandered everything about it. They squandered everything about our fucking characters.
Like, again,
John Boyega, stay strong, John, because they fucked your character.
If you think we're lying and you think we're being facetious, I point to you to every video game media right now. I have 3 prime examples. Fortnite. Fortnite's entire season, this season that's going on right now, is all Star Wars all the time. They have stormtroopers in the game. You can fly an X-Wing. You can fly Vader's ship. You can do all this other shit that's going on. Destiny 2, surprisingly enough, in December, they're getting a Star Wars themed DLC that's based off of a sand planet that's Star Wars themed. They literally showed a Guardian holding a blaster, like a blaster, and a Warlock was holding a lightsaber. It's there, like, they are actually going through with this. Battlefront 2's player numbers just on May the 4th alone shows that the fans yearn for good Star Wars content. It's just Lucasfilms and Disney need to get their heads out of their asses and figure out how we're going to do this right and not fuck it up anymore, because they consistently are dropping the ball on one aspect when everyone else is sitting there as like, I guess we have to pick up the slack for what Lucasfilms can't do.
Yep. And it's not like the TV shows don't showcase that. Like I said, we've talked about the TV shows. The Obi-Wan show has a lot of promise to it, but they just also have a lot of stupid ass shit in it as well. Acolyte,
Clone
same
Wars
thing.
Great.
A lot of strong premise in it. Good bones. Fucked it. Andor apparently doing really well.
Andor's
doing really well. People are super excited to hear about the Maul series coming out. Like, It's not like Disney's not wanting to give people Star Wars, but y'all gotta stop trying to fuck it like you fucked the sequels.
It's like, let it breathe. You have an idea. Don't back down from your idea because you have a few naysayers in the crowd telling you not to do it.
Fuck it, Disney. Retcon your sequels, make a story about Mace Windu surviving, and make Finn his descendant. Fuck it.
It's not like having retcon shit before.
Fuck it. And though we'll never truly get the sequel trilogy with Finn being the Mace Windu descendant that we wanted, if you retcon it and say, fuck it, he actually was, honestly, might save the sequel a little bit. It'll piss people off because then you're like, you ruined it. But at least people can go, you know what? Fuck the sequel trilogies. Finn's really Mace's descendant. Fuck it. Like, you can make people happy in the end.
The other thing you also have to realize, especially newer Star Wars fans, the fans of the first 3 movies, hell, the first set of Star Wars movies that ever came out, those fans, they're all old. Every one of them are old heads to the pivotal definition of, if it's not those 3, and they're not including New Hope in that either, if it's not those Star Wars films that came out back when they were kids, that's not the gospel that they believe in. And no matter what hearken, change, retcon, no matter what you do, they will always feel that way about Star Wars, because they will say, well, I grew up on Star Wars, this was my life, this is everything, this is the gospel, and whatever else they say is stupid. Those fans will always be like that. It will never change.
They'll never change.
Never have any type of cognitive dissonance to know that things need to be a little bit different for it to survive.
Well, and Disney, you got to just accept that you cannot win over this entire fan base.
No,
you can't. You got, like I said, you got like 45% of the fandom that just hates anything that's not truly the original theatrical releases of Star Wars. You have the other 45% that's like, we just love it if it says Star Wars. We don't even care if it doesn't make fucking sense. If it's Star Wars, we love it. Way too many of those types of fuckers on goddamn TikTok, by the way. And then the last 10% is the part of the Star Wars fandom that's probably the truest form of Star Wars fandom. We love and hate what you give us because we're looking at it going like, we love this part, but then you did this. So then you fucked this, but then you kind of redeemed it, and then you fucked it. Like, yeah, like the sequel trilogy had the perfect premise with Finn. Finn was ideally the best candidate to be the main character, and y'all fucked it. I have every reason to hate the sequels just on that premise alone. You fucked it. You promoted like it was going to be Finn. Then you said, nah, but a girl. Fuck the god. You could have made her just Luke's fucking student. You didn't have to make her this all-powerful, not nobody that was secretly not really a nobody.
No one gave 2 shits that she's related to Palpatine.
No, that actually pissed more people off.
Yeah.
The idea that she was not
trying to make her relevant and Palpatine still alive is the entire thing that pissed people off to no end.
Oh, yeah. Leaving her as a nobody would have made the fandom infinitely happier about her character versus a Palpatine. Because people still argue, she's not a Skywalker, she's a Palpatine. Again, you're all arguing on semantics on this shit, but Disney, had y'all not done that and just said she's truly nobody, she's just gifted, people would be less fucking pissed that she even took the Skywalker name. They'd be less pissed.
To sit here and say that there aren't just randos out there with force powers, I again turn to you to the end credits of the 9th film where they show a kid just randomly force pulls a broom to him to start sweeping. No one knows who that kid is. That kid is nobody, and he has force powers. But yet, guess what? He's not related to anybody. There's no family ties. There's no other Jedi ties. He's literally a one-off nobody in the distance, and it gave people a microcosm of hope, but they can't get over that fact because they're still arguing about who fucking Rey is.
Oh, no. The episode 10, 11, 12 is going to focus on that kid, and he's secretly going to be a Kenobi.
Oh, shut up. Yes. And then
no, he's going to be the true descendant of Mace Windu.
I was about to say, the villain of that one's going to be another version of General Grievous, but instead of 4 arms, he's going to have 6. Because General Grievous didn't actually die. They actually just upload his consciousness into a different robot body. Cool.
Yeah. No, the villain of 10, 11, 12 is going to be a reanimated fucking zombie Mace Windu. It's
Oh,
possessed by the
Jesus
dark side.
Christ. Let's just keep putting all the bad ideas out there. Why
Oh,
don't
hey,
we?
at this
You know?
point, Disney takes fucking whatever, so
Yeah, they
they'll
just take
pick the
anything.
worst idea and say, this was a great. It was not.
No,
Zombie Mace would be
Law-
a terrible fucking idea.
It's like, look, you did it with the Avengers and that worked the one time. Don't do it
Don't,
multiple times, you
don't,
asshole.
don't do this shit. It's believable that fucking Maul could survive. It does not make sense that Mace would have survived.
No.
It's more likely that he died. But if you're gonna make him survive, don't turn him into this zombie controlled by the dark side or shit. Don't. Just don't. Just don't. It's a terrible idea. We're joking. Don't do that shit. But
if you
you know what's funny is talking about the kid who pulls pulls the broomstick to him. It showcases that as much as that eighth film does annoy the shit out of me. Ryan Johnson just pushed that notion of like anyone can be something to the universe and to the Force. Isn't it the whole fucking point of the prequels telling you the Jedi go out and find Force sensitive fucking kids to begin with?
Yeah, that's the whole reason why the Academy exists.
So they find Force sensitive kids anyway who have no ties to anyone
To
special.
anyone.
Why the fuck aren't y'all running with this shit? It's right there. George did it.
That's too much work.
Nah, I'm telling you, they're probably gonna make that kid some tie into Kenobi just because they made Kenobi in the Kenobi show say he had a brother, and that brother probably had a kid, and that kid had a kid, and that kid had a kid. I'm telling you,
I'm going to burn
if
Disney World to the ground if that is true.
if Disney really commits to that, I'm gonna fucking laugh.
I will commit I will detach the state of Florida from the United States myself if that is true, and set that bitch adrift.
Waiting for them to release it, episode 10, and it's find out that, and they're going to set the trailer too. It's going to be the kid. They're going to take that lasting scene. It's going to be that kid pulling it, and then you're going to find out that you got really powerful with the Force, and then they're like, we have to stop him, and they do lineage. And it's like, oh my god, this kid's connected. His great uncle was Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the greatest Jedi. I'm like, yep, there they did it. They fucking did it.
Like you said. Also, another thing, and I get they go over this notion in the shows and in the games where they tell you how their lightsabers are forged. Why don't we ever show that in the movies? Like,
I don't know. I really don't know.
Can we just I get how lightsabers are forged, especially Sith sabers are forged with the blood and all that other shit. But I'm for once in their goddamn lives, just show me a new Jedi user forging his own lightsaber for the first time. Like, I don't understand why every lightsaber that we've seen so far has just been a knockoff hand-me-down of someone else's fucking lightsaber.
Honestly, yeah.
It's like, why do we... First off, how many other... I know General Grievous has a lot of fucking lightsabers in his collection. All right, I get that. But at the same time, how many of these do we just keep finding? These aren't like pennies on the goddamn ground. Everyone just picking up these lightsabers like, look, this was an old weapon. Here, you use this. Where did you get this from?
They hand them some random fucking little rod thing and it shoots out a lightsaber.
Whoa, what is this? Like, oh, I found it.
It's a broom handle.
It was at a bazaar. It was just on sale.
It's just a metal pipe.
You're telling me no one at that bazaar accidentally hit that little button that activates it? Not one time. They just left it there because they thought it was defective. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Sure. Sure, I guess. You know, Jedi weren't this massive thing in the story of this whole world anyway, so it's not like no one knows who they are.
No,
like,
I mean, I have enough questions about if you watch just the 6 original films, right? And then you're watching episode 4 or 5, and it happens in episode 4. I get that George wasn't planning some things when he wrote episode 4, but the line in episode 4 when Vader is talking with the generals and he's like, it's all insequential to the Force, and they're like, Vader, no one but you believes in your old religion and the Jedi are a legend, blah blah. They make it seem like all this shit with the Jedi and the Force was like 100, 200 years ago or some shit. Like the way they write it and say it may seem like the Empire's been in control for a long time. And the Force is just this ancient mystery. like the way they talk about it. But then when you get the prequels, like this is just shit was just 20 fucking years ago. Half of you fuckers on this damn team, on this general board, know what the fuck happened 20 years ago with the fall of the Jedi. So how the fuck are y'all acting like this shit's not something that was still relevant just 2 decades ago? How the fuck are y'all acting like this shit is not there? Like when Vader talks about it, it's Tarkin that says it, which is even weirder because it's like, Tarkin, you fought with Anakin in the Clone Wars, so you know damn fucking well that it's not some weird ancient religion that is just a mystery and a myth. Like, bitch, you saw them do it.
It's
What the fuck?
It's so bad.
It's just one of those things that annoys me because I'm like, I've talked to this about with my dad years ago, even before the sequel trilogies. Years ago, I was like, Tarkin talks about it as if the Force and the Jedi are a truly ancient religion that hasn't been around in like 200 years, and that only Vader has the only connection to it because he's the only one that uses it. So they just make it seem like he's this lasting remnant of this ancient Force. But then when you do the prequels and it's like, no, this is only like a 20-year gap. Some of those generals, I get the younger ones, but some of those generals are near Tarkin's age. They would have known about the Republic. They would have known about the fucking Jedi. They would have known all this shit was a fucking thing. So talking about it like it's a ancient mysteries shit is just so damn dumb. And I get it. They're trying to erase all things about the Jedi. Even Han Solo is like, I haven't seen. He mentioned something to Obi-Wan like, I've never seen, something like that. I've never seen this Force shit. I kind of can get that Han Solo wouldn't entirely know because he lives on the Outer Rim. He had nothing to do with it. He just kind of got lumped into shit. He's a thief. He's a smuggler. I could kind of get that. But people higher ups in the Empire should not fucking be acting like this shit's ancient news. They should know about the fall of the Jedi and the Republic, and Palpatine took power because of the Jedi, supposedly. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a weird choice that inevitably kind of contradicts itself when you watch the prequels.
It's so dumb.
It's dumb, and I know he was not planning that aspect of it, but in hindsight, it's really dumb.
Hindsight's a bitch.
Also, two final things on this one. When it comes to lightsabers, how do you view the structure of a lightsaber? Like, are lightsabers to you a full energized beam of energy all the way around that come into a point at the end, or are they more shaped like a katana and a regular English broadsword, or I guess any other kind of sword? I guess. How do you view
when I look at a lightsaber, I kind of look at it like not like a sword, so to speak, but more or less like if you were to what's the name of those? They're like Japanese style weapons. It's not a bow staff, but the little half staffs with a handle on the side.
Tempo.
Yeah, kind of like that, where it's this thing of concentrated energy that focuses up into this light beam that has its top off crescent, but at the same time it is not used because you can't say it's a sword because it's not used as a traditional sword, so to speak. Like when you see their combat and fighting, it's more with swords you go for more slashing, more actual like thrusting motions, stuff like that.
They're swinging that bitch.
Yeah, with these, especially when they start wrapping around their backs and they start doing all the little nifty tricks that they can do, it gives off more bow staff, non-lethal weapon type of fighting style in combat, even though this thing is probably arguably the most lethal thing to be ever created in the known weapon world. Like, if any weapons, if you do like this weapon up against a lightsaber, well, to be fair, a lightsaber can deflect bullets, light energy, other light safe. Like it's not a traditional sword. It's more of that, like, unless you're converting it to how the Sith use their lightsabers, because they straight up use theirs as just, I'm trying to kill you. So head swipes, stabs, heart stabs, all that. Like the Sith use theirs as traditional swords, so to speak, where I think Jedi's kind of use theirs how a monk, like I picture them how a monk would fight with a Jedi. Like it's all defensive based fighting, not for combat but for protection.
And the blades in your eyes are clearly, in the sense of using a bow staff, a little more rounded that pull up into a point.
Yeah.
See, I see that too because I know they do different shapes. Technically, the dark saber for Mandalorians is a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And it's shaped to look like a sword per se. I mean, it makes sense for Mandalorians, right?
Yeah.
And it's established in the universe of Star Wars that basically only Beskar armor can deflect a lightsaber. Like everything else just crumbles to lightsabers. So I got to think about this yesterday. I'm like, with the modern Star Wars stuff, they have made a lot of moments where fucking happens in the Obi-Wan show, it happens in Acolyte, it happens in everything, where they'll swing the lightsaber and it'll bounce off shit and not cut through. And it's like that, and people will defend it. And I'm like, that only makes sense if there's if the blade is made a certain way and they're turning the blade to hit with the blunt side of things. But then if you watch it like choreography wise, that doesn't make sense that they would be doing this. So they're not hitting with the blunt side of a weapon if it's shaped a certain way. And then on top of that, when you see them cut through stuff, they'll cut stuff in a perfect circular motion, which implies the blade is heated all the way around to cut. It can't be like it's only heated on one side like a katana and then it's dual on the other side like a back end of a katana, or like an English broadsword where the points are on the sides and if you turn it, you know what I mean? Like, so you can say Kylo's is kind of shaped like that, but again, it falls back to the energy beams and shit. So I'm like, when they bounce off of shit, it logically doesn't make fucking sense for them to be doing that because you'll see Obi-Wan come at someone, bonk the dude in the head with the beam of the lightsaber, and then go stab a door and cut a circle in it. I'm like, there's no way that shit just bounced off someone's fucking armor.
No.
If he's cutting through a metal door in the same scene. Like, it's just not possible. And I can hear the argument, well, the armor's really good. I promise you, no fucking stormtrooper is rocking Beskar.
No.
That shit's rare as it is, and Mandalorians are super temperamental about touching their shit.
This is the Empire we're talking about, and these guys barely shell out to get gas for their fucking ships.
Yeah.
I doubt they're going to give the foot soldiers the best armor.
Yeah. And so, like, it makes...
Again, I argue, look at how many fucking stormtroopers there were in that one scene. There was a literal planet-sized army of stormtroopers.
Yep.
None of them have that armor to protect themselves. No. So I doubt it's that. That's why I was thinking it's more of like a staff type defensive weapon. Like if you were to put a bow staff, but give it like a sword hilt.
Yeah. And on top of the armor for Stormtrooper falls to regular blasters. So there's no fucking way the shit should be stopping a goddamn lightsaber if it can't stop a fucking blaster bolt.
I've seen in every version of Star Wars, they always shoot blasters, and guess what happens when they shoot them against a lightsaber? Right back at you. You fucking idiot.
So, and it'll shoot and hit them and kill them. So I'm like, the armor is definitely not strong enough to withstand the regular blaster bolts. So it's not defending against a fucking lightsaber. So I'm like, how can you write a show and then write this same show to have a character wielding a lightsaber, and in 1 minute it'll cut someone's arm off or cut something metal off, and then bounce off the armor of something that would not have the armor to defend against it? I get Vader would absolutely go somewhere and steal Beskar armor or force them to give him Beskar. Absolutely believe that shit. He knows how lightsabers work, so him building his suit to defend against it makes perfect fucking sense. They're not giving it to foot soldier ass stormtroopers, so there's nothing out there that stops lightsabers. So there's how the fuck is Obi-Wan bouncing this shit off of fucking stormtroopers? And now
I want to say that they only got defensive lightsaber gear with the shock troopers because it's just like we got to fight pure energy with energy because energy works like that. Like that's more believable that something entirely encapsulated in lightning could compete with a lightsaber because it's two energy sources battling out against each other. So they're not going to cancel each other. I mean, one's not going to go to the other because you're matching the levels of energy that a lightsaber can. It may not be the same type of energy, but two energy sources, like the way I thought of it was one's a negative energy source, one's a positive energy source. Like the lightning's a negative, the boom. Or because even more scientific terms, they're both the same source. And as we know, opposites attract, and the same thing repel each other. A proton and a proton will just move away from each other. But you mix a proton and an electron, boom, clash.
Mm. Oh, I mean, I like the idea behind it because that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're designed for it. They have weapons designed to fight back, like the Mandalorians have their weapons designed to fight back. But like the regular guys, they're not going to get that. And then even if you say, lightsabers are shaped like katanas because they're doing a lot of slashing and stuff. Okay, yeah, a katana has a backside that's not sharp. Lightsabers are not being swung in a way that makes sense for it to be a katana shape. And then again, if you try to cut through a metal door, you'd have to stab it sideways. And I don't think a katana can make a perfect fucking circle cutting through something, doing it in the motion like in Star Wars. Watch them cut through shit, people. Star Wars, when they're cutting through metal and like creating the big circles, right? They're moving in a motion like your hand would be like a circular crank. It's like this. They're
stabbing it in at one point and then they're moving it in a circle.
Yeah. They're not twisting or moving their elbow. They're straight or just cranking it like it's a fucking crank.
Like
a katana's not doing that.
They're katanas. If they would be cutting into doors like lateral slash, lateral slash, lateral slash, lateral slash, and it makes a diamond, okay, your argument for it being a katana makes sense because they're doing slashing marks.
Even a broadswords makes sense.
Yeah, and then it's being pushed open. Half the time you see them use their lightsabers to open a door that's closed, stab, draw circle, hole falls out, boom, we walk through.
And I know people are going to come at this and go, well, they have practice lightsabers that don't harm. I know that because the little younglings in episode 2, you see them using properly practiced sabers that don't fucking burn a 5-year-old. You can't convince me that Obi-Wan's walking around with a fucking practice saber. It's his lightsaber, a saber he's using in war, that we see him through episode 1, 2, Clone Wars, and episode 3. Whip that bitch out, start cutting shit. So, and if all lightsabers have a protective switch, why the fuck would you want that on your saber in a war?
Why does your lightsaber have a safety on it?
Yeah. And I know they're protectors of the peace. I mean, if they're protectors of the peace, they're probably not going to try to draw the lightsaber unless they have to, which means if they're drawing the lightsabers,
set all lightsabers to stun before combat, everybody.
They're not doing that. If a peacekeeping Jedi is drawing the lightsaber to draw the lightsaber, that means he's drawing it because he's like, I have to physically possibly hurt or defend myself.
You see, son, your lightsaber was set to safety. You need to turn the safety off. That way you can start killing people.
There's no safety. Mistake. There's no safety switches on the Jedi Padawans, Jedi Knights, Jedi Masters. It's not. So them making weird decisions in the Disney era of having shit just bounce off and cut through when it picks and chooses it's not consistent. It's not. You can argue all you want. It's not fucking consistent.
And look, my main argument for lightsabers being bow staffs, and again, I draw back to good old Darth Maul.
Shaped like bow staffs, people. He's not saying they're
Darth
wood.
Maul literally is holding the equivalent of a lightsaber bow staff. And again, in combat, he's not using it as a fucking sword. He's using it as if it was a staff. Because in most sense of all of the combat, especially when it comes to weapons, bow staffs are not offensive weapons. They are defensive by nature because A, there's no sharp edges, and B, they're usually not meant to kill. They're always meant to stun and or I wouldn't say unconscious, but disorient your target.
Yep. I agree. And we know that they have to come to a point because they physically stab through people.
Yep.
So it's clearly shaped all the way around in a circular motion like a bow staff that has a pointed tip at the fucking end, which allows them to stab. Also, if you look at all the stab wounds in Star Wars, they're fucking holes. They're not slits or slants. They're fucking holes.
Straight up circles.
That means that bitch is hot all the way around. You're not bouncing off shit.
It's like, yes, there are some inconsistency with the lightsaber fights, but to sit here and say that a lightsaber is the equivalent of a katana, I would like to see anyone move a katana like a lightsaber and not end up with a couple of cuts or just straight up missing an arm.
or Broken
or
Blade.
Broken Blade.
So
Because
look, you guys can love
can't
the
move shit like that.
you guys can love the shit that Disney's put out, but you've got to be willing to admit they've made a lot of poor, inconsistent decisions that really make lightsabers seem fucking weird.
There's a lot of discrepancies within lightsabers.
And
that
before we move on to our final topic, what is your ranking of the Star Wars films?
So, if I had to rank them in order, or I wouldn't say put them in order,
I
but
can put them
I
in
would
order.
have
That's
to
fine.
say, well, no, because you put them in order, that's like a whole nother thing of like which ones, like, because you put them in order, you gotta go the 1, 2, 3, then 4. And it's like in my eyes, the way how in my favorite, it's number 3,
Ooh.
then give me 4, because I feel like 3 to 4 is that perfect segue in between movies, even though Lucas didn't think that he'd ever make prequels to the original, to the first 3.
Well, he actually
But
planned on it.
well,
I don't know if
yeah,
they were going to be what he actually ended up doing.
give me 3, then 6, then 1, then 5. Wait, did I say 6?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 3, then 4, then 1, then 5, then 6, 2, 3, or 2, 7, 8, 9.
So sequel defenders are going to be so mad at that. Now, for honestly, I'm surprised you put 5 as most people put 5 as the best Star Wars film.
So, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Everything about Episode 5 was great. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd sit here and argue that Revenge of the Sith, everything was set up so perfectly in Revenge of the Sith, from the beginning of them going after Count Dooku to the whole Obi-Wan going off himself and he's sitting there to protect Emperor Palpatine, and Emperor is telling him all the story about Darth Sidious the Wise, doing all this setup to eventually turn Anakin, which again works out perfectly in that notion, because the one thing that pisses me off about the prequels is that you tell me all these Jedis that we have here, and not a single one of them can detect that the fucking Emperor, the goddamn guy in charge, is the biggest Sith Lord in the planet. Makes zero sense to me, because they could sense the dark side of the Force from a mile away, yet you can't sense the guy in the same room as you is the biggest fucking one of them all. Is mind-boggling to me. That's a different story. But everything that happened in 3 perfectly sets up how 4 plays out. And then I cut back to 1 because Episode 1 was just great. Duel of Fates, the whole story, everything about Episode 1, fucking awesome. Which one I said next? I said, then I had 5 because, well, honestly, again, I'm not putting 5 out. 5 is still in the top 5. It's just not my top 3. It's, okay, I don't care. Fight me. Fuck off. I don't care. 5 was okay. 5 did its job, and it did it the best that it could. Then give me, what did I say after that? I said 2? 2 because this is pod racing. Then
that's
Episode 6.
That's in the first one when he says that.
Is it the first one?
Yeah, it's when the pod racing's in the first one.
You're damn right it is, because he's a child, and the second one's mostly about space politics. Yep. Yeah, because that's the second one's with yeah, you're right. But like everything that happens in Episode 1, or fuck, I lost track. Where what was that?
It's like 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 1, 5,
and then everything that happens in Episode 6, which I mean, it's kind of one of the weaker ones of the original 3. Like,
I think most people agree.
If you compare Episode 6, Episode 5, and Episode 4, you're just like, damn, dude, how does it's hard to compete with those other ones with them right there. Like, that is tough to go up against. And then, of course, the prequels are last, because, or the new trilogy are last, in the order that they come out. I lied. I do 7, then 9, then 8, because I hate that the entire reason why shit couldn't get done in 8 is because we're out of fucking space fuel. Did no one stop at Exxon before we decided to go on this fucking trip? Why are we always out of gas? You're telling me everyone else refilled, but the biggest empire in the galaxy with a planet that can destroy other planets at a multiple time, nobody stopped to refill any of the ships with fucking gas. There's not a space Valero or Exxon anywhere nearby that we're just conveniently out of gas. Did we fill the ships up to halfway before we left? Is that it? So you tell me we're so expensive that we have a Death Star planet now, but we're also so broke that we can't afford to fill any of these ships up past half? Fuck out of here. Give me a break, dog.
It's good. I've never even noticed it. No one in space is filling up for gas. These shit just run on an endless engine of.
Dude, that was the first time in all the Star Wars where they actually made running out of fuel a major plot point as to why we can't catch the bad guys. It was like, you're fucking shitting me. You guys have all the money, all the power, and no one owns a space Exxon? There's not a goddamn gas station within a next quarter mile of where we're going. You're telling me you used all the fuel on hyperspace to get here, didn't you, you dumbasses?
Yep, they don't. That's a poor bit. Someone was not making a good business decision when they decided not to put gas stations in space.
Son of a bitch! I can't even go down the road without seeing a Valero every other 2.5 quarter miles in San Antonio, let alone. But in space where no one can hear you scream, no one thought, let's just make a fucking space rest stop right here.
Right.
For fuel, gas, and everything. Like, you're telling me the Empire didn't think one time that, maybe gas might be a potential thing we could run out of in the future. Let's just make sure we're stocked up on dark matter or wherever the fuel cost is for this. No. We're just perpetually out of gas so they can keep getting away and we can keep having movies. Fucking fuck!
See what we mean by Disney makes the really weird, questionable decisions in their fucking shit?
The most richest, powerful empire in the goddamn galaxy can't afford to fill up at the what was it? Fucking Biden's economy affected the goddamn spaceships too?
They just came out of space COVID.
Fucking space recession over here. We don't have enough fossil fuels to get the fucking next planet over. God damn it. Yeah, but you have to call space AAA so you can catch up to Ray and Finn and the goddamn Millennium Falcon. That's over 50 years old, mind you. Yeah. They had the decency to go to Space Pep Boys and fix the goddamn Millennium Falcon so it can fly.
Nah, man. They put all their money into buying jetpacks for stormtroopers, so they can fly now.
All the flame troopers use up all the fuel?
I still refuse to believe that any of that shit. Like, you try to tell me Finn, a stormtrooper, didn't know they had fucking jetpacks? Stormtroopers are based off of clone troopers who had fucking jetpacks.
Again, just
oh my god!
I feel like the new trequel, the new trilogy would have been over if anyone just at any point decided. And anyone check if we have gas before we left? No?
Just cut the fuel lines. We'll get away every time.
We're good. I don't remember at any point in episode 7 them destroying their base of operations of fuel ever.
Nope. Every vehicle in Star Wars runs on perpetual just hopes and dreams.
Sir, we're out of gas. Fuck you mean we're out of gas? What? This is why I couldn't have been in charge of any of those ships there, because I was firing everyone on deck the second someone told me we're out of fuel. Dog, you're telling me we have the Emperor's business platinum card and no one thought to just go to the fucking space Buc-ee's to fill up? You're fucking kidding me. Like, I have my Shell card right here. We can get gas for free, jackasses.
Just waiting for someone to go, oh, he only hates the sequels because of massaging him. No, he hates it because they didn't have gas.
I hate it because for some reason everyone keeps running out of fucking fuel and it keeps perpetuating this goddamn 2-hour movie. The number episode 8 could have been an hour and 45 minutes long if anyone stopped to refuel any of
They
those
do spend
ships.
like the last 40 minutes of the film on them just sitting there, don't they?
40 minutes idle in space, waiting for Space AAA to come and refuel us.
Oh my god!
God,
I haven't watched.
bless.
I haven't watched any of the sequel films since I initially saw them. Around the time they came out, and I never watched the last one. So
it looks so good in HD and 4K. And it's like, cool. Where's the gas? No one thought to bring a little canister of gas with them.
Nope.
At any point.
Not at all.
Fucking.
And then, I mean, enough of its own issues. Honestly, the sequel trilogy are my last 7, 8, 9 right there because I didn't watch the 9th one, so it's in last place. I like 7 more than I like 8. As for the other 6, out of pure enjoyment wise, I'd put 3 as number 1. I know as a millennial kid that obviously, but I enjoy 3. Everything all the way through. I really enjoy the shit out of it. And then I'd put 5 because I think a majority of the film is extremely entertaining. Stuff with Luke and Yoda, and then all the stuff with Vader at the end of the film is fantastic. I really enjoy stuff with Luke and Vader and how he's methodical through this whole fight, but then you slowly start to see him get more frustrated that Luke's being more than he expected. And then the big reveal, I am your father. It's like,
your father.
Like,
that's not true.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Top tier shit. Like, it's right there. And then, like, my third one, this is tough.
Again, you're now starting to get into space politics.
No. I want to say I might put 1 at 3 just from like the midway point to the end. Like, I think everything from like Tatooine to the end of the film is way more enjoyable than everything in the first half of the film.
Well, yeah, because the whole first half is you in the fucking space government going to different planets and telling them like, hey, this shit's going down. And it's like, well, this is a diplomatic reason as to why we can't go in there. It's like, motherfucker, shit is going down. I don't care.
But honestly, I find the pod race stuff is just really fun. It's just really fun. It's entertaining. Everything with the final fight, it's super fucking good. Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon, it's so
Duel of Fates.
Fucking good. I think on that premise, I'd put 1 right there, just because that back half of the film, I'm just fine. I'm really enjoying with it. And then I would put 4, and then 6, and then 2 at the end. Okay. Two's only really got, like, to me, there's some good fun moments throughout 2. The last bit's probably the best bit, but that final lightsaber scene just kind of fucking trashly ruins everything for me. The fucking flashing lights with Dooku and Anakin. I hate that shit so bad. I just watched it like a couple days ago. I'm like, fuck, this shit's annoying. It's just fucking lights. And not even done in a cool way. Obi-Wan Kenobi show did it in a cool way. They're just straight up swinging the shit and they're just seeing light. I'm like, fuck. I hate that part of it.
Again, I can see it. I totally can see it. The only reason why I have 2 so high is because at that point in time, I played a lot of the games, and one of the games I had for Game Boy was Episode 2 and Episode 3. But at the same time, I saw Episode 3 in theaters when I was 7. So,
honestly, the Episode 3 game really does help me enjoy Episode 3 even more. Especially if you beat it and then go back to play it, and you can play with his red lightsaber the whole time.
Yes!
Oh, it's so fun.
Yes!
That game's so fun.
Fuck yeah.
So fun, but yeah, honestly... Yeah, that's my ring. I know people are gonna be like, I can't believe you'd put 1 up there. On a pure enjoyment level, I know 4, 5, and 6 are just infinitely better written, but I just enjoy the back half of 1 more than I enjoy 4 and 6. But it's very close because 6 is the weakest of the original trilogy, but it's still really good. 4 is the
Dude,
introduction, and there's a lot of
fucking
fun moments.
Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. I don't know what more I have to fucking say in that. Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
If you were asked for a more better casting of Qui-Gon, I don't know who you would get for that role.
No.
Like, the only other person I can think of is Tommy Lee Jones. That would probably be
been a good one.
A just as good as like that. That's the only other person I can be like, yeah, he could totally play the shit out of Qui-Gon.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Tommy would be a good one. You could probably get away with a pretty good Sean Connery as Qui-Gon if you do it just right. I think you could pull it off. And people, don't get it twisted. I made my list based on pure enjoyment, and I think a lot of you might realize the prequel set higher than you think on an enjoyment level. Yes, the original trilogy is far better written. Because I don't know what the fuck's going on in episode 1, and George is writing too much Shakespearean bullshit in the original, in the prequels. I don't know. Bad George.
I think the other...
Someone needed to come in and help the prequels fix their dialogue. Because bad George. I think
the other issue with the prequels is, and from my standpoint, they do a lot of Anakin and Obi-Wan talking about adventures that they had. Like, they talk about all these fun things they did off screen. I was like, why couldn't you show us one of these moments? I'm not saying put all of them on the screen, but at least give us something to be like, yeah, I can see why their bond is that strong. Like, that's why Clone Wars was so impactful for me as well, because like I got to see a lot of the reasons, because that's why I say it's that's why I have 3, then 4. Because in between those, I watched the entire Clone Wars trilogy, and I got a better feel for how Anakin was prior to all the bullshit that went down in episode 3.
Yeah. No, the Clone Wars series really helps prop up a lot between 2 and 3, and then when you take Rebels to go 3 to 4, and a lot, just those 2 shows, and we need more Vader shit. It really helps.
Like, I'd argue that there's a better bridge gapping between the prequels and the original trilogy than there is between anything that happens afterwards and the new shit.
Oh no, I agree. I agree.
They did such, and not only from the visual side on the animations and shows, but from the comic book sides as well. Like, comic book Vader in between episodes 3 and 4 are absolutely the most S tier amount of content for Vader ever. It does such a good job of walking that line into how did Vader become this stoic figure that everyone in the galaxy is afraid of. Because again, that opening scene of 4, where they're all hunkered down waiting for, because they know it's him, and you can look on every rebel's face a look of fear, intimidation, and just straight up pissing themselves because they know who's about to breach through that fucking door.
Yep. I'm telling you guys, if you guys really sat back and ranked Star Wars based on your enjoyment, not on what's better written, on your enjoyment, because I know a lot of people put the sequel trilogy above the prequel trilogy in terms of writing, and I get why you do that. Don't do that, and rank them on your enjoyment when you watch these films. If you enjoy it more, put it somewhere, because like I said, pirate stuff is stupid, but it's fun, and all the shit with Maul and Qui-Gon and the Duel of the Fates stuff, good shit. I think it's worth putting it in terms of enjoyment. That shit's so fucking hype. 2 just does not have the hype. That's why 1 goes there. 2 does not have the hype. 3 is all the hype. 5 is fucking hella hype. 1 got some hype. 4 and 6, a little more storytelling, and I love that aspect. 2, there's just no hype there.
2 is just an awkward bridge gap in between, because it's trying to tell you about, the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and you're just like, okay, but show it. I get it. They're amazing friends now, but show there's one scene where you talk about how many times he saved his life. He's like, oh, that's number 10. Well, could we have seen maybe one of those instances of where he saved your ass? Because I feel like Anakin was a nice Starky asshole and made a lot of comments about the shit Obi-Wan did to get him in that situation in the first place.
You rewrite too to where you show 25% of the film is we see Obi-Wan and Anakin together doing a mission, building that bond. We see it, and then that 25% is them getting called back to help with Padme, and then the rest of it, that's the setup to starting of the Clone Wars. Better film. It's a better film. If you actually get to see parts of that connection between Obi-Wan and Anakin, much better film.
Yep.
And speaking of shit that people don't fucking like, oh wait, no, go finish.
Well, before we move on, the other reason why I have 2 so high is because I don't care what anybody says. The droids, goddamn, the droid comedy is so fucking peak in that movie.
Oh yes, I
love all the droids. Like I don't care what anybody says. The droids were a better army than the clones. They had more personality. They were all stupid. Literally, at any moment in time, the droids were throwing each other underneath the fucking bus, and it was amazing.
Oh, it gets even funnier when you watch the Clone Wars TV series. They're so funny.
Exactly.
Like I said, I'm rewatching the Clone Wars series. They're so fucking funny.
The droids are S tier.
They're so fucking funny, man. God, the droids are great in the Clone Wars TV series. But yeah, no. Speaking of things people don't like, the Ironheart trailer.
Ugh. Which I don't. I don't understand how Marvel has come out with 3 women leading IP things, and on YouTube those have gotten more dislikes than they have likes. And I don't know if it's because people aren't actually watching what's happening, or is it just racism or sexism. There's something underlying in those 3 that I don't understand. First off, the Marvels. The Marvels was great. The Marvels was great. Black Widow, I can understand you not liking it because Taskmaster was a girl and they did all these other changes. Fucking take away Taskmaster and just give me Yelena and Scarlett Johansson's cancer character with the added David Harbour's Red Guardian. So that trio of characters right there makes that movie amazingly entertaining to watch. And then Ironheart, Ryan Coogler has done exceptional work with Black actors and Black movies because, and if you think I'm wrong, look at how Sinners is doing. Look at how Black Panther 1 and 2 did.
Ryan Coogler is doing Ironheart?
Yeah, he's the director for Ironheart.
Okay.
And that's why I was shocked as to why people were hating it. I was like, hang on. You're telling me the guy who did Sinners, the guy who did the first Black Panther and the second Black Panther, and we're already review bombing this because why?
Oh, it's gotta be. I feel bad. Look, I don't support the people who do this who look like me. do not let me into this shit because I look like them. There should be no reason anyone should be attacking anything based on just race. If you want to say I don't want to watch shit because Riri Williams is fucking boring, I don't care about the character, fine, that's fine. But y'all just coming out being racist as shit. And I've said some racist shit on this podcast to Dan, and he's more than welcome to say shit back to me, and he has before. Should have seen him in school. Oh my god. He made a reference to a cartoon character I made, and I'm like, if I ever put that phrase in my story, I'm getting so fucking canceled.
Oh yeah.
That would get me canceled so fucking fast.
But like Ryan Coogler, for notable movies that he's done, Sinners, Black Panther, Creed, fucking Anthem, fucking Homeroom, like Ryan Coogler as a director is absolutely S tier. The man has not made a failure of a movie yet.
Now,
like the one I would argue would be Space Jam New Legacy, but take away the critics from Space Jam New Legacy and just look at Space Jam as a fun kids, how the first Space Jam was, just a fun basketball movie mixed with Looney Tunes characters. It does its fucking job.
It does. I will say though, the second Space Jam just doesn't have the charm that the first one has.
No.
Maybe it's because I'm still pissed that it's in 3D and it's not 2D, but there's just a charm missing from the 90s Looney Tunes Space Jam to this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, oh wait, but do you think people are loving Sinners not just because it's a great film, but because Haley Steinfeld just apparently fucking slays in this whole fucking movie?
While I will admit Haley Steinfeld absolutely kills this role in this movie, it's not. I didn't watch it for her. I watched it because the music that was in the movie.
Oh, that's true.
Because, and again, one thing that Ryan does really well that shows in every movie that he does. Go look at any movie that he's made and listen to the soundtracks of it. Every one of them have a banger fucking soundtrack. From Black Panther to Creed, Sinners, even Space Jam New Legacy has a banging soundtrack. You can say what you want about who's in it, who's Riri, who's the next Iron Man, whatever. That man knows how to put together a soundtrack that encapsulates the movie or show or whatever he's doing. And to sit here and say that he won't be able to do a good job with Riri is ludicrous, because they already have chemistry with actor and director, because he did Black Panther 2. And guess who was in Black Panther 2? Fucking Ironheart.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like what we said in one of our episodes, that her character didn't get enough time to gain people's love for her. Because think about it, Shuri gets a lot in Black Panther 1, but honestly, I could say that Shuri as a character gets almost the same amount of attention that Riri Williams' character gets throughout Black Panther 2. Like, she's not the focal point, but she gets a lot of attention. The character for Shuri is just was just written more entertaining to see on screen, whereas people weren't vibing with Riri, and I think that's affected her going into this new movie. I don't know if her comic book character is like this, but I for me, when I was watching Black Panther 2, I'm like, I don't care to see you on the screen. Every time Shuri's on screen, or a story's following her, or her brother's ex-wife or girlfriend, the mom, all those scenes, shit, the whole throne room setup with when Namor comes out of the water and they're at the beach and he's like, someone's fucking with my people, and if you motherfuckers don't fix it, I'm trashing this whole country. I'm like, I'm all invested with it. Like, I think she did a great job having to take over this role because her brother passed, and it was just like, I didn't care for the character of Riri when she's on screen. I'm like, I get your importance to the story. I'm just not caring right now. And
like, so I've read a couple of comic books, but I read a couple of comic books after Black Panther 2, and I went back and reread a couple of them here recently.
With her,
Riri's character is kind of how I picture her, how I would picture my sisters. It was a smart young Black woman. She was doing her own thing, and she needed a push. She needed someone to tell her that she wouldn't be as good as who she thinks she is. Like, her whole character arc is not of someone of arrogance, like how Tony Stark was, because he was always arrogant after he became the heir apparent to the Stark Industries. He was always arrogant. Riri was never arrogant. She was always this humbled character who's had her moment once or twice and has done nothing of the sort. That's why, like, when they introduced her in Black Panther, she's at MIT. She made the device to help the Americans look for vibranium. She's a smart person. It's the issue with her in Black Panther 2 is that she's kind of how, who's the character I compared her to before, just not as good. She's like the one smart chick from Thor: The Dark World, not the chick who gets the Infinity Stone infused to her, but her friend.
Oh yeah.
She's like her, but the only difference is the actor herself doesn't have that level of charm to her to attract that amount of people. Like, because the way how she's written and how she acts, it's kind of two different portrayals. Like, my thing was when I saw her in Black Panther 2, is like, she's an okay character. I just need her to have her own standalone thing and let me see her work out of someone else's shadow. Because that was the other issue with Black Panther 2. It wasn't Riri's story, so it didn't feel like she had her inclusion didn't feel like it meant anything.
Yeah, because she was a segue for Shuri's character to understand what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
And
she wasn't there.
And yeah, they kind of kept trying to keep her around, and like I get the story sets up for it to make sense, but it's just like this is I don't think the story benefited from her tagging along. I don't even think.
Oh, you could have written Black Panther 2 with not even having Riri there, just saying that she was the person who did it and this, that, and the other, and then left it there. And you would have been, I wouldn't say you would have had a better story, but it would have been a little less chaotic as such. But I would also argue you wouldn't have had that badass fight scene on the bridge with Okoye fighting off the Talokan warriors by herself, because Okoye as a character fucking cooked those fucking warriors with no serum at all. Just her staff and her moves alone was cooking those warriors.
You know, with you mentioning if you write the story in a way where she's not in it, but her name and what she did is presented, I think it makes more intrigue for her character than to get her own stuff, because now people are like, okay, who is this character that made this device that basically allows the world to track vibranium, something that the Wakandans kept secret? It creates a lot more intrigue to it, whereas, like I said, we see in the film and she's really fucking arrogant all the way through, and it's not like in a charming way.
No.
Because we see, like you said, we all see arrogant Tony, but we also see arrogant Tony for the beginning of his film, and then immediately he's like, oh shit. So the rest of that first Iron Man, we see him coming back from his arrogance and like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, the character for the friend in Thor, I forgot her, Darcy.
There you go.
Yeah, she's annoying as hell too, but she's got the charm to her where you're like, yeah, you're just like that annoying, charming girl, like. But she's not. But she's not like. She never feels overly important to any of the story with Thor. She's just that character that's there.
Yeah, she doesn't become like morally important to the story till WandaVision, and it's like, oh my god, it's Darcy. She's back. Holy hell, we like Darcy.
Yeah,
it's that type of moment. Like, that's how I picture her, but for Ironheart, because I feel like she's arrogant because she knows she's the smartest in that current situation. In the comic books, she's just as smart as Iron Man, and she's already or I wouldn't say she's already proven, but in the comic books, she's proven that she is smart as Shuri. Like, Shuri, the way how they've written her getting the Black Panther powers in the comic books is that Riri floats the idea of synthesis to her. So, and she plays a more impactful role that way, because she was just like, have you ever thought of synthesizing the heart-shaped herb? And she didn't up until that point. As in Black Panther, where we see Shuri figure it out because she was already working on the synthesis. It's not like she wasn't trying beforehand to get her brother back. Is that this time she was actively trying to figure it out. And which also leads into another reason as to why they had to bring her character in, because they had to give someone, or I wouldn't say someone, they had to give Namor a reason for her to be captured.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
as soon as I think, they could have done it to where you had Shuri struggling to figure it out, not because she's not smart enough, or even that Riri's smarter, but because she's so stressed out to get it right, she's missing that little piece. And then you just have Riri go, oh, are you doing it with this? Just a simple mistake out of just the stress and the emotions. And then you can have Shuri go, oh my god. And it's just like that moment of allowing her to finally let go because you can have that moment where she realizes I've missed this and failed so many times because I let so
I
much
was clouded by grief.
Yeah, clouded by grief, clouded by pain, suffering that with her mom and her brother, and it's just that outside perspective. Not that would make Riri seem smarter. It's just that Riri just isn't blinded by that, and she just notices it.
Yeah. Or
Like,
like the
and it
other
made her
the other
it made her
moment
more
from
important.
yeah, because the other moment from Black Panther 2 that I took away from this, it was like Riri's character being the ipso facto catalyst of the movie. Because in all stretch of the imagination, she isn't the catalyst, but she at the same time is the catalyst. Because if
Yeah.
they don't go looking for Riri, then the Talokan warriors just straight up capture her and kill her, and then that's it. We don't hear about it. But because she goes and does that, it then sends her to Talokan, which then gives Namor the thing that gives her the bracelet that his mom made for him, which has the pieces of the syntheticness that she needs to recreate the heart-shaped herb.
Mhm.
In all stretches of the imagination, Black Panther doesn't happen without Riri's character in and of itself. Like, you can't write Black Panther 2 without having Riri's character involved in some way, shape, or form. Now, the stretch of what that involvement details too, depending on how they decide to direct it, which was fully have her character involved. That way, you can give her own thing later. Which, yeah, it works out. It still could work without her, but I don't see the movie fully working if her character doesn't exist at all.
Yeah, no, her character definitely has to exist, but I think, like I said, you could write it in a way to where she wasn't as much a part of the film as she ended up being. You can still do
Yeah.
it, but like she definitely has to be at least put in the story. Like I said, you write it to where they find out who she is and that she made it, but you don't have to have her involved with the story as a whole. You can find ways to get it to
Because like
where
they could totally do it into a way where it's like Riri knows who's after her and she's hidden herself in the middle of a desert somewhere so that they can't come and get her.
yeah, and like that, just it gets her in the film, but does not make her as heavily focused in it, and then kind of sets her up on stuff like, okay, we hear about this character, let's see more about this character.
Also, side note, to all the people that are talking about, ooh, why is her armor so bulky? Why she has such massive armor? That doesn't look like Iron Man. First off, Riri's armor is different from Iron Man's because
Riri's a
let's not
girl.
forget she is a woman, A, and
She's
B,
like this tall.
look at the first fucking sets of Iron Man suits. Them shits were bulky as fuck. The very first one was completely bulky, and out of refining an armor
Mm-hmm.
piece takes time. Her first one, like you saw, was a bunch of scrap put together. Just like Iron Man's was a bunch of scrap. Tony Stark built this in the cave with a box of scraps. Her first suit that you see in the show is literally a bunch of pieces put together. It doesn't get that full-fledged armor look until she gets some fucking vibranium metal set from Wakanda.
Yep.
So this armor that you're seeing in the show, or that they show off in the show now, is, I don't know what the metal's made out of. I don't know if
Probably
it's
vibranium.
adamantium. It's more than likely going to be vibranium. But at the same time, it's her refining the look of the armor she made in Wakanda. Riri's character in Iron Man has a slimmer armor set. Hell, she had a nano suit before, or I wouldn't say before Tony Stark, but she had one faster than when Tony Stark made one because she made hers. I think her fourth iteration of her suit is a nanotech suit. Because again, in the comics, she is just as smart as Iron Man. The only difference is Iron Man didn't have the level of efficiency that she does. Because guess what? Iron Man was working on fixing his heart so he can not die half the time.
Yeah.
While, mind you, she has no problems with her body. Everything about her, she's a healthy human being. She's just a fucking genius. So she doesn't have to take the time to try and heal herself and figure out a new element so she doesn't fucking die. She's doing this on non-borrowed time. Tony
Mhm.
Stark's entire life, for at least half of it, was on borrowed time because he's like, I gotta get this shit out of my chest so I don't die.
And it also helps seeing someone else already do it. Then you're like, all right, I can do
Yeah,
that.
it's like with anything in life. When you make one, if someone makes one version of something, they'll make it to its penumbral end. Then you'll see someone else make a sequel or a different version of that thing. They'll make it better, they'll make it in a faster time, and they'll make it more efficient because that's just human nature. When something has been done once, the groundwork has been laid. All you have to do is follow in their footsteps, sorta, and you'll get there faster.
Yeah. No, I'm
Hell, like the other person I compare this to that was done better, just has a little bit more of a stringent curve to hit, is Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. Kate Bishop is arguably a better shot than Hawkeye because guess what? She was training her whole life to do this.
yeah. Hawkeye comes
She,
across as like a natural skill, so he
yeah,
doesn't train
Hawkeye's
like
a
that.
skill. Kate Bishop trained her way to get that good. When someone is, it's just like in Dragon Ball. When someone is born that way, yes, it's going to take a while for them to get to a certain point. But after that next set of generation comes out, they're doing it in faster times, in quicker iterations, and it's proven to be stronger. Hell, look at the kids of Vegeta and Goku. Look how fast they learn how to go Super Saiyan.
Yep. As they said, my second favorite series, Kenichi, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard.
Yep.
And while Iron Man and Hawkeye are probably more talented than Riri and Kate Bishop, those two work harder overall than they do. So they're gonna succeed faster. Yeah.
It's almost as like, stay with me now. When you have a teacher, eventually the teacher will become better than the student.
Oh, you mean student becomes better than the teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
that way. Like within anything. Hell, even in like karate, there's only so many times the master will be better than the student until the student finally starts once the student puts in the effort, puts in the work of what his teacher taught him, guess what? That style is going to evolve because he not only passed it down to someone else, they're putting iterations and doing things that he did faster than what the master did.
Yep. 100%. This they're not shoehorning Riri in this. They're not purposely making her way more intelligent. She was written this way in the comics. Like, if y'all wanted to say these were DIY stuff, it would make sense if these characters never existed in the comics and they were just throwing them in there for the sake of the movie. But every character that's been introduced in the MCU has been tied to the comics, outside of maybe a few.
Like the Young Avengers do exist, folks.
Yeah, they do exist.
Riri is the Iron Man of the Young Avengers.
Yeah, like she's there, so let it.
Miss Marvel is the leader of the Young Avengers because she was the first one who was the youngest, and B.
1 second, I'm gonna take this.
Oh,
hello. We're good.
But like, it almost is in the natural the natural order of the world where you learn a skill from someone, then you take what you've learned, refine it, and make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Not only make it better, you do it faster, and you add your own flavor to it.
Yeah.
It's like literally any cook ever that's written a cookbook. I guarantee you there's some person on TikTok, not saying everybody on TikTok cooks better than what a cookbook does, but there are some people on TikTok that have taken things from a cookbook, added slight minor details to that thing in the cookbook, and it's not only come out better, but it actually probably took them, I wouldn't say took them shorter to do, but it took them shorter to learn how to do it than it would the person who actually wrote the cookbook.
Oh yeah, I find all kinds of crazy shit on TikTok for cooking, and I'll make changes, and I think I make better changes, not because I'm a better cook, just because I think my changes make whatever the dish was slightly better.
Like, I'm not saying that they should. And also, before I continue, to the folks that are saying that it should have been the little kid from Iron Man 3, I guarantee you none of you knew who that kid was
After
prior
that
to
film,
anything. That after that film, you didn't know what that kid was doing up until Endgame, where they showed him at Iron Man's funeral.
and if they hadn't showed him, y'all wouldn't have cared.
Nope. The only reason why that kid shows up to begin with is because he knew Iron Man, and Iron Man gave him a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He did not give him an arc reactor. He didn't give him an Iron Man suit. He didn't give him anything to help him be Iron Man. He just gave him tools and technology to make his life a lot better than what it was.
Yup. Nah,
Like, I don't get it.
They're just there are plenty of reasons that they could have come out and downvoted the video, downvoted the trailer, voiced the opinion of something they don't like, but it's just pure fucking racism. I mean, I'm pretty sure stuff with when Black Panther was coming out, I'm sure there were a ton of shit that I don't remember.
Oh, God.
Like, it's just a rampant wave of racism, and like I said, I've admitted I didn't care for her character in the Black Panther movie, but she does play an important role. And will I inevitably watch this? Yeah, I pretty much give anything that Marvel makes a genuine. I'll give it a watch, whether or not I like it. I'll at least give it a watch. I wasn't gonna go pay to watch the Marvels, but I watched it when I was already came out to streaming because I was already paying for that. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch it here. I've given everything Marvel has made everything a shot, and I'll give Ironheart a shot. If it's good, it's good. If her character gets more compelling to me, she gets more compelling. But if in the end I'm like, I'm just indifferent, it is what it is. I'm gonna give her a shot.
And it kind of rolls into the next thing. It's kind of like how people are viewing Storm. It's like a lot of people view Storm in a certain way, in a certain connotation. Like how we've said multiple times on this show, Angela Bassett is the perfect version of Storm if she was 20 years younger. I would say 20, like 10 years younger.
10 years younger, or just playing an older Storm. At this point, she truly is like the ideal Storm.
Yes. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Storm needs to be this white girl with blonde hair.
Oh,
no,
God, no,
because that completely takes away from who Storm is as a character.
Fuck no.
But we will have our judgments and views on who we think should be the character for Storm. Storm needs to fit a certain vibe. A lot of these characters, at their core, need to fit a certain vibe.
They gotta feel like the characters.
Yeah. Iron Man has to be cocky, has to be arrogant. No matter which version of Iron Man it is, they're all cocky, they're all arrogant, they're all smarter than what they like to tell people. Like it's just that form of Iron Man. Yep. If you give me any version of Mr. Fantastic, guess what Mr. Fantastic is? He's a smart, overbearing type of person who doesn't want to hurt. He wants to help people more than hurt people, whether that is his own friends or the entire world around him. Johnny Storm will always be a cocky, arrogant little hothead that tends to have a lot of snarky, quip remarks. Spider-Man is the same nerdy teenager, college level person that everyone knows that has that fun side of being a little shithead too, because you can't have Spider-Man without having at least some moments of him being unaware of what he can and cannot do, or also just being funny for the sake of funny. Like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, hey, you dropped this, throwing something at head level, nearly decapitating Buck. Like,
yep,
that's funny. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, when he in the whole first scene in the wrestling match, Oh, that's a cute outfit. Did your husband make it for you?
That's probably the
That,
most Spider-Man he ever was too.
that's Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield sneezing with the webs, just fucking with the robber, just being an asshole to him. That every Spider-Man will act that way. They all act us every character, no matter what their skin color, facial expression, what they look like on the outside, on the inside, they all portray the same shit.
Yep.
Storm. I'm not asking for Storm to be. I'm not going to get my perfect casting. Angela Bassett won't do it unless she does like a future version of Storm, which I pray to God she does one day. I just want it one time.
Yeah,
But
give me an older seasoned Storm, Angela Bassett.
I need a Storm that is, I wouldn't say grounded to her reality, but I need a Storm that knows her power and knows the wisdom behind being that level of being a goddess. There's only a few handful of actors out there that can portray being a humble goddess to that sort of the notion of being Storm.
You know what? Just thought about it. Cast the voice actress. I don't even know how good of an actress she really is, but she can deliver for her voice lines. Cast the voice actress for Storm. She's probably the same age as Angela Bassett, though. Damn.
Fucking Gambit. Look at every version of Gambit. A slick talking Louisiana man who knows how to cook and also says a lot of things in Creole French that no one would understand unless you're from the area.
And he's in
everyone's
love
like
with Rogue.
And loves him his Southern Belle Rogue.
Yeah.
I.e. Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum's Gambit. Everyone looks at Deadpool Wolverine and see Channing Tatum's Gambit as one of the penumbral moments of the film. Yeah. Because A, he got to finally do the role that he was told that he was going to be casted for a long time ago. And then B, he killed it. He fucking killed it.
Honestly, he really did. And I think my biggest critique about him in that film was just that the design of the Gambit suit makes his face look a little chunky. I don't know if it's just because the suit itself is impossible to wear without looking that way, or maybe he just needed to lose a little bit of weight. Either way, I still think he delivered on terms of performance.
But like the other version of Gambit, I think it was from the other X-Men movie.
Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, in that version of Gambit, he was played so well, but it was the same mannerisms. Slick with cards, a smooth talking Louisiana man. The only difference is his accent wasn't as prominent as everyone would have liked it to be. He sounded a little bit from regular? Like Shreveport. Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say regular. He sounded like he was from northern part of Louisiana when Gambit is from New Orleans, because he's literally
he's a bayou man.
Yeah, he's a bayou guy. Like, he's literally a card trickster from the bayou, turning tricks on Bourbon Street to get people out of their money.
Yeah.
Like Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is the same skittish type of guy who doesn't want to be involved. He just really doesn't. He doesn't like to fight, but he will use his powers if need be. All these characters play and have a role that they fill, not through actor, but just at the core of the character.
Yeah, as long as the core of the character stays exactly who they should be, the actor shouldn't have any problem delivering it unless they just can't act. If they are any competent actor and the directing team behind it and the writing team behind it write these characters correctly, the actor, I think, can match it. Some of them are just going to be more natural for it. Angela Bassett, just definitely a more natural fit for it. But yes, as long does Chris Evans truly, is Chris Evans a real life Captain America? No, but with the right direction, the right directors, the right team writing the characters, did Chris Evans feel like Captain America? Yes, because he was like, you're gonna play this character, and he played the character and he did it correctly. So whoever is cast as Storm, as long as the writing team writes the character correctly, because Halle Berry's, again, looked great as Storm. She did not get written to play fucking Storm. I don't know who the hell she's playing, but it's not Storm.
No.
I don't know who Storm that is, but that's not Storm. You write this character for the MCU to be the Storm of the comics. Any competent, good actress should be able to nail the part. Obviously, the more big and theatrical you can go, the more you can make me see Angela Bassett when you play this role, the better you'll be a better fit for it. And especially she has to look like fucking Storm, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You better do not jip me on my fucking wig.
Like another example of where I could put this to where it makes sense for a lot of people. Look at every version of Batman. And yes, I'm including Adam West Batman in this because every version of Batman is, I wouldn't say a dark, brooding character, but they all share the same similarities when they're in the suit. They all have this get it done attitude. They're always about that act. Like they're all the same person in the Batman costume. Now, how they're portrayed as Bruce Wayne, that varies on who the actor is. Like a lot of them play a very good Bruce Wayne. Some of them play a very shit Bruce Wayne. Adam West is one of the few exceptions of where he toes this weird line by himself of where he doesn't play either of them good, but he's Adam West as Batman. And you're getting Adam West, the person, instead of Batman. And there's only a handful of actors where you can put them in a role and they only play themselves. The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Patrick Warburton. There's only so many people that you can put in a role and their job is just play yourself, but as X character.
Yeah. Yeah. And we say all this because last night I come across it on Twitter and I brought it up to Dan that the actress, I forgot her last name, but Arriva, I don't remember, the girl that played Elphaba in Wicked is maybe in talks to be the Storm for what would be the MCU. Yeah. Now, I know we mentioned before that, when they bring the X-Men over, depending on how they do it, depends on the ages of these characters. Because if they do it to where the mutants started in the MCU and there's not going to be like bringing them from an alternate reality type of thing, then probably all of them are going to have to be really young.
Yeah.
Outside of somehow making certain characters come from different universes. Cool. All right. But if you're going to bring them in and kind of have some of them be upped in age a little bit, I don't think she's a bad choice. I think she does a great job as Elphaba. There's plenty of moments in Wicked where she delivers a really good dramatic performance. Obviously, she'd have to be as theatrical as the character of Storm usually gets in this stuff, but I don't think it's impossible for her to reach it. No. I would like to see it, though, because I don't think it's impossible. I want to say, like I said, it's really hard when we compare anyone else to Angela, because, like I said, we believe Angela is the perfect cast, period. But I do think she's more than capable of doing it. My biggest hang up, and I said it last night, was don't say shit.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. You almost killed Wicked because you ran your fucking mouth on some really stupid shit. People were like, I was interested. I saw so many comments in that thread that didn't hate the idea of it, but they admitted up until she ran her mouth, I was intrigued to watch Wicked. But as soon as she started running her mouth, it immediately killed every desire I had to watch it. And that's hard when she's the fucking other half of the main draw for that film.
Yep.
We get it. Actors and actors need every right and have a right to say what they really feel about things. But if you're on a tour to promote the movie or your characters, probably don't do that shit.
Maybe just shut up.
Because it's going to hurt. Say it in other regards. Just don't. And if she is cast as Storm, again, I think it's hugely possible that she could be a really good Storm. But I swear to God, if she does any fucking thing to make people go, fucking Storm, I'm going to be so pissed.
The other reason why I was hoping it'd be her, because if they do and they let her, or she lets her hair grow out, she can give us that perfect Afro fucking Storm, the white Afro Storm that I've been asking for eons now. And again, it's not like she would have to put a wig on. She doesn't have a lot of hair to begin with. So she would be at the all she would have to do, because I don't think she has anything with her hair or any type of hair problems that I know of at this current point in time. But even then, give me Afro Puff Storm and I'm all for it. I'm sold.
There's only 3 hairstyles I want from Storm. You either get Afro Storm, you get Mohawk Storm, or you get beautiful, luscious 90s fucking Lion Mane Storm.
Yep.
Any of the 3. I would love to see 90s Lion Mane Storm on TV, though. That would be fucking amazing.
That'd be amazing.
I want to see that shit.
Another thing that I just thought about, when you take a character and you keep that character's core the same, but you recast them as a different person, look no further than Walking Towards His Falcon in comparison to Anthony Mackie's Falcon. Literally, same embodiment of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Almost identical type of mannerisms. Sidekick, funny quips, short lines, nothing too over the top, but nothing too underneath to where they're undersold as a person. Like, prime example. The 2 scenes I like to use for this example is the first one's in Captain America Winter Soldier, the whole on your left scene. That scene is fucking hilarious in every shape of the form, because it's just Cap lapping the shit out of Anthony Mackie, and he's just trying his best to keep up. And the other scene from Walking Towards His Falcon is when he's trying to get him to, come on, let me go on a mission. Come on, let me go.
Yeah.
All right, fine, sit up. Yes. Woo! And he just takes off to go get his suit and go help, because the energy levels between of Falcon isn't, oh, I'm Captain America's sidekick. It's more or less, I get to go and I get to keep fucking around with Cap while he's doing a lot of the work.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you think I'm wrong, look at Captain America Winter Soldier and look at Civil War. Especially the scene where Falcon fights Ant-Man, and he's like, or that's in the Ant-Man movie, but when they fight each other, Anthony Mackie's like, yeah, how about we just not tell Cap about this one?
Yeah.
Like, let's just, and then it calls back into Civil War. It's just like, I know a guy. Just don't ask too much about him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the segue isn't, oh, it was a black guy, now it's a Mexican guy. Bad. No, it's because it was done with well-intentioned. Both actors knew what the assignment was for the character.
Yeah.
And that's all we're asking for. With Riri, with Storm, if you can portray what you're supposed to be in in the MCU, if you're going to be our Iron Man, I need you to be arrogant, but I also need you to realize where your arrogance is bringing you down. Which, again, I don't think that was going to happen in the Black Panther movie, because it wasn't about her. It was just about Shuri being Black Panther, which I understand why people's like, oh, I didn't like her in Black Panther too. It's like, good. She wasn't there for you to like her. She was there to advance the plot.
Yeah, she was.
Like, with a lot of the characters, it's just you matching the energy of who you're supposed to play. And a lot of actors do a great job of matching that energy of who they're supposed to play. If you want a better example, look at the new Fantastic Four trailer and try and tell me that every person that was cast for this role does not, in some way, shape, or form, fit that role that they're supposed to. Look at Johnny Storm and it's not Joseph Quinn. Is it Joseph Quinn? I want to say yeah. But look at how Joseph Quinn plays the perfect little brother to Sue. Especially when she finds out that she's pregnant, she's like, you are going to be an awesome mom and you're going to be a great dad. Just kidding. You're way over your head. You're completely out of your league. Isn't that something a brother would say to their, like, that's something, as a little brother myself, that's something I'd find myself saying to my sister's better half, or especially straight to my sister, because I'm giving her shit for it. Like,
I'd say it to mine, and I'm the older brother.
Exactly. Like, he fits that part. Ben being the backbone of the team and the cook, the whole scene with Herbie. He
Mhm.
fits that part just well because he's like, yeah, that's if I look at that guy, I see Ben Grimm. Pedro Pascal being the father figure, he's literally cast as the father figure in almost everything he does.
I know. I know.
If you need a new father figure, guess who you're gonna go look for first?
Pedro.
Pedro Pascal.
And one that's not Marvel but coming out that seems to truly be an embodiment of the character correctly. David Cornsweet as Superman.
Yeah.
From the trailers, he is embodying what Superman is actually supposed to feel like. And I like Henry Cavill as Superman, but they did not properly do that man justice. They did not let him play Superman correctly. David Cornsweet is absolutely being directed to play the character correctly. And even though if in the beginning I might have been like, maybe, I don't know how I feel about him yet, seeing the trailer, seeing him as Superman, I'm like, no, this guy vibes. This is Superman. This is what Superman should feel. So, yeah, as long as the character is truly being embodied and they're not losing who they are, it shouldn't particularly matter who plays them. I mean, don't put a white woman as Storm. I swear to fucking God.
It's not
Please.
completely race swap here.
Do not do that. Holy shit. But
That's not what we're advocating.
That's not what we're advocating. Any strong black actress could probably nail the role of Storm as long as she's directed correctly and the actor is written correctly. But bonus, if any of you can deliver and give us an Angela Bassett performance, because like we said, that's the bar for us for Storm. She's never even played Storm, and that's Storm.
Hell, if you were to tell me that the new actress that's being casted for Black Panther or for Storm has spent time taking acting lessons for Angela Bassett, I'm all for it. I'm co-signing. I don't even have to see her in the suit yet. It's like, yep, that's my Storm. Because if she's getting coaching tips from Angela Bassett, arguably the greatest black actress of our generation, I don't know what to, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, honestly, she's where we put Storm. Anyone that can match her level, that's Storm. Whoever it may end up being. But who do you guys think will be the best Storm? Do you think the actress who played Elphaba in Wicked is a good fit? If she's not a good fit to you guys, don't be fucking racist about it, you jackasses. Who do you think is a good fit to play the upcoming Storm? What about the rest of the shit we said in this video? Do you agree with any of the things we said? How many of you are mad at us that are talking shit on the sequels again? I'm about to get so much shit for that. What do you guys agree with anything we said? What about our rankings for the Star Wars films? Were we right? Were we wrong? Probably fucking wrong. The fact that I put episode 1 as high as I did, the fact that you put episode 2 as high as you did, we go, hey, nobody gonna let us live that one down.
Argue with the fucking wall.
I mean, did you see the comment that I put up on one of the Star Wars videos that someone made fun of you? They were like, he likes the sequels. I'm like, I say shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Argue with the fucking wall.
Fucking with the wall. Are y'all excited for the new stuff with Godzilla coming out in the future? Green Godzilla, Supernova. Y'all excited for it? Because I am just these fucking green. And book to film adaptations. How did y'all feel about the adaptations we have? Are y'all mad that we don't like the Percy Jackson? Are you mad that we compared the film saying they're more entertaining than the TV show? Who knows anything about Aragon that can have a conversation with us? Because we were severely heartbroken about that. Jesus. And
again, I'm willing to take on anyone.
Absolutely. And lastly, are you guys going to watch the Ironheart movie? Is it a movie or a show?
It's a TV show.
TV show. Are y'all guys going to watch Ironheart? If you're not going to watch it, why aren't you going to watch it? And if you're not going to watch it because you're a racist dick, I don't want to fucking hear your reasoning behind it. Because all I need to hear is you're a racist dick, so I don't give a shit.
If I hear one thing about black,
it's because she's black.
I'm immediately walking away from the conversation because your input means nothing to me.
If you hit us with the ghost stories, it's because you're black. I'm
not here for that. I'm here for genuine,
yeah,
actual conversation as to why you think she won't work. Not black chick equal bad. No. It's gotta be legit. It's gotta be legit. I don't want to hear no ghost stories version. But that's gonna be the end for episode 9 of the Just Nerds podcast. We'd like to thank you all for stopping by and joining us for a much longer stream but recording for last time. But hey, when we got to talk about Star Wars, I had a feeling we were gonna get way too deep, and we did. It always happens.
It always happens. We either get 2 hours, we get 3 hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 depends. But you got 3 hours this time because that's what's going to end up being. Even if I cut out some stuff, it's going to be like 3 hours. But thank you all for stopping by and joining us. Thank you all for stopping by and hearing us out. And I've been Nick Sade.
I've been Dan.
And until next time, everybody, see ya.
Peace.